Hey everybody, welcome to some Tuesday Night Legacy.
I took too long to get my drink, huh?
Just barely,
man.
seconds too long.
Well, we have a good friend of ours who's got to buy this round.
Ooh, you gonna join us?
He asked so politely. He's like, "Hey, can I join you?" And I'm like, "Okay."
That'll be sweet. Come on in. Is there one? Grab one of those little stools right there. That'll work.
Yeah, that stool should be good. Oh, maybe you do have room back here. Maybe.
We will get squishy.
Corey's gonna hang out with us today. Talk about some Legacy.
So we're starting off. We're gonna see Zach. Zach, who's on.
I think he's on post.
Oh, he's playing something different.
No, Zach. Sorry,
Okay.
Zach's on a 4-color blade.
Yeah. So blade versus a post deck.
Yeah.
And that's our other table, I believe.
Blade with Leopold.
Yeah, 4-colored awesomeness.
Yeah, he's very good at it.
You can't be greedy.
No,
Just 4 colors.
I think everything but red.
Big Red Joe, how are you, sir?
Okay. Who is who?
Try the other. Yeah.
That's who we're watching.
I think so. I think this is Zach on our right. We'll get transitioned over. These guys are just sitting down, and then we get to actually watch some Legacy. Unlike whatever you were doing earlier today.
I don't even know, man. I don't even know. I tried. All right, so Zach, 4-color blade.
I watched a little bit of your 10-post Eldrazi
Today?
the other day.
Oh,
Was it
fun.
today? I don't
No,
think
it was
today.
yesterday.
Like on,
I did it yesterday, and
Yeah,
I
that's
think I
right.
did it like 2 days before that.
yeah, it was yesterday's that I watched, and that's a pretty fun deck.
yeah, it has some
I thought,
interesting plays, right?
Yeah.
Some choices to make, and
I was actually surprised by it. Like I was kind of expecting it to be like Modern Tron,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not. It does not feel like that.
Yeah,
Like it was actually kind of impressive.
it seems like you have to count. I mean, it's like a more simple storm, but you cast this mana rock, then you can cast this mana rock to cast this mana rock to cast this thing that wipes the board.
There were a lot of cases where like I was while I was playing, I'm thinking, oh, this is easy, just tap a bunch of mana, done, and then I'm like, oh, I actually should have tapped that like this, and you actually have to think about how you tap for things, and I don't know, it was more complicated than I expected it to be.
Brian, Corey has a bye this round, so he thought he would join us.
I went 3-2 with Jund, and I went 3-2 with Maverick today. That was my stream.
One of your losses was Storm with John, and what was the other one?
I can't remember.
3-2 with Maverick.
Yeah,
and then 3-2 with Joe.
Yeah, I started off 3-0 with Maverick, and then my deck just like fell apart in round 4, and then I just kind of got outvalued in round 5.
So
Brian says welcome.
That's
Corey.
a volcanic island on David's side.
Thought I saw.
Are we on something different?
Yeah, it must be.
There's Volcanic Island, City of Traders.
So he's
Looks
probably
like Show
on.
and Tell.
Yeah,
This looks like Show and Tell.
Yeah. Living the 3-2 dream all day long.
Is it Sneak and Show? Is that what we call it?
Yeah, Sneak and Show.
I don't think it's Tez.
I want it to be Tez.
That'd be neat.
Don't worry, Tezzeret decks are coming soon to a stream near you.
Oh yeah, you putting something together?
I want to. I want to.
So did both players mulligan or just Zach?
Just Zach.
It is better than 2-3.
It's a lot better than 2-3. One of them pays for your tournament, and the other one gets you nothing.
The other one, the tournament ends, and you go, "Wait a minute, I didn't get." Aww. Feels bad every time.
I'll get you a list later, Brian.
I mean, not that I've ever gone 2-3
Yeah,
on Magic Online.
2 and 3 is how you can tell if you're a really good player or not.
A Dimir Charm. I've wanted to make that card work so many times, but just never did.
It's like counter a sorcery. Look at the top 2.
Oh, that's
right?
a Thopter Foundry right there.
It doesn't even cantrip. You can look at the top 2 and put one on top and one in. You can or put them both in the graveyard.
Yeah, no kidding. This is not Sneak and Show.
Yeah, this is
not Sneak and Show.
More Tez for sure. So that's a Chrome Mox.
No, this is Mox Diamond.
Mox Diamond. Mox Diamond. So that's from the Vault one before
Yeah,
they said, we're not doing this anymore.
Demir Signet. There you go. Yeah, not Charm. Those are two very different cards.
This is definitely Tez.
Yeah, let's just call it Tez then.
Because he definitely has a City of Traders in his hand. So if he can follow up this Thopter Foundry for Tez, that's pretty sweet.
That would be very strong.
So this deck is interesting. It combos really efficiently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes.
Efficiently sometimes.
And then other times it just dies to itself. Like it just doesn't get to do anything.
Brian, we've got 15 players tonight. And number 15 is right here.
Signet.
Yeah. Signets. It's as if we're playing Cube. Unfortunately, see, he's just got land in his hand.
It's always interesting when you see somebody take a card very quickly off the top of the deck. It usually means that they don't have anything.
Yeah.
Which he doesn't. He's got two lands in his hand.
Yeah.
He maybe gave that away a little bit.
So Thopter Foundry has a combo with Sword of the Meek, which the fact that Thopter Foundry's in this deck, I would figure Sword of the Meek would be in here as well.
Yeah.
It essentially says, pay 1 mana, gain a life, and get a Thopter, and that's kind of what the 2-card combo does. It's very powerful. It'll win the game over a couple turns.
Now with Zach's version of 4-color Blade, he is playing white instead of red, so that means he loses access to things like Kolagon's Command, and he may or may not be playing Abrupt Decay. If not, he's probably in trouble here.
Yeah, he'll have a couple things, but this is going to be a rough one to interact with for sure.
I mean, he could go, True Name Nemesis and just attack it for 4, and he never draws the blade, so it's never matters. But
yeah, absolutely. And we don't actually know all the details of David's list as of yet. We don't know if there's a 5-color Tezzeret to go tutor up things.
Yep.
We don't know if there's a transmute artifact in the deck.
So he drew Ancient Tomb, so still he's got plenty.
All the lands.
Riley Cole, this is an artifact Tezzerator deck, whatever you want to call it.
Man, if he just had something to punish Zach a little bit in the beginning there, he could have with the way Zach only has 1 land.
David just has 2 lands in hand, not doing a whole lot. He might actually want to sacrifice Mox Diamond or there's an Ensnaring Bridge. Okay, well now you're definitely playing a land. Yeah, the bridge.
This changes things for him. Gives him a lot more time.
Yeah.
Looks like Zach has Daze, Stoneforge, another True Name Nemesis, and no Force of Will. He just drew a land.
Now it's kind of changed. Instead of David needing to find something, now Zach has to be the one to pull something out. Deathrite Shamans could get there eventually. Right now, there's no instance or sorceries in the graveyard.
No, and David's not going to give him a lot either.
Yeah. Nope. Noble Hierarch is still an option, though, right? It can attack through an Ensnaring Bridge.
17 times away.
If he gets more Hierarchs out and then more Exalted Triggers, that's a thing.
Yep.
It's not going to last long through just a couple tokens, though.
Yeah, I think all that's left in David's hand is the 1 City of Traders. So he's going to go down to 0 cards on this next turn. So if he wants to get in with those Shamans, now is the time. But with the Shamans, there's another thing that's a huge boon against Ensnaring Bridge is that in Umazov's Jitte, you can put it on a Noble Hierarch, start pumping it up, and get it for 5 turns.
Yeah, that's a line, right? If nothing else.
If David wanted to stop that, though, he could just turn his Demir Signet and his Mox Diamond into a Thopter and block the Noble Hierarch, get that off the board. That way there's nothing threatening damage.
Yeah, let's pull up Inventor's Fair. That's kind of a fun card that definitely belongs as at least a one of in these type of decks. It does what it does well. I just kind of don't like. Oh, you're talking about the unstable basics.
Well, lucky for you, Big Red, you have plenty of time to make that decision. Nobody's rushing you. Except for me. Just me.
Time's running out though for David. You know, 2 shamans can always go to the face without having to attack. You know, there's nothing right now for him to cast, but he's gonna sack this Adventure's Fair and find something. Ooh, I saw Big Tez.
Yep, I saw Jace, I saw Dak Faden.
So you can only get an artifact here. All of those, the planeswalkers that could do stuff don't work.
I think Spyglass is a good option. Getting Jitte away from being relevant seems like a good thing.
I like how he's like reading the card just to make sure. Wait, does it do what I want to do? Is that really how I want to go there?
He could go and get
Sword of the Meek.
He could just get Sword of the Meek and start doing it that way. He could also get Crucible of Worlds and cycle those Adventure Spheres back in. You know, like he can cast an Adventure Sphere every turn at that point.
Yeah. So he was deciding whether he wanted a Sorcerer Spyglass to remove Jitte from the game, essentially, or take the Sword of the Meek and just start making Thopters. He's decided on Sorcerer Spyglass. I would assume this is going to be on Jitte.
Yeah, and he's still got the 1 mana up for days, which is
It
lucky.
does look like Zach has a force now, though.
Nope. Okay.
They are
He's wrong. I
Merfolks
should feel
instead.
So the foil's being overpriced. He's over here having a side conversation as we're like into this game. It's great. Normally, like round 4, all we care about is talking about the overpriced foils. It's great.
Wait for round 4. Come on, Jeff.
I really like that Daze, actually. That tapped him out of mana so he can't activate that Thopter Foundry so that his guy is safe when he attacks.
You might as well use it, right? When there's just a day sitting in your hand that's not doing anything. It's not going to do anything from here on out.
A little confused as why Noble Hierarch attacked, but
Same.
but it got in. It got in real good. For all the 0 damage.
He just wanted to trigger raid.
Yeah. Okay, so now if David can get these Deathrite Shamans off the board, then he can probably win this game. But Zach still has to cast spells to fuel them. He's like, that didn't attack for 1. That attacked for 0.
And David being stuck with these lands, he can't dump his hand either.
Yeah, he just keeps drawing them.
So Jitte can no longer equip or obviously activate. When it's if it had been a normal sword or something, a Batterskull, for example, then Spyglass doesn't work quite as efficiently. It shuts down the bounce on the Batterskull, but not everything else.
It's one of those Leonin armament guys that say when they enter the battlefield equipped.
There you go.
Pretty sure he's not playing that.
No, absolutely not.
Here comes 3, so 7. He's gonna sack for a Thopter.
So yeah, there's a token created and jump block right there.
I don't think you do that unless you're gonna do both, just so you can get something off the board.
Yeah,
Looks like he did. Yeah, he did block.
Yeah, you don't really need the Mox Diamond anymore.
Definitely not. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Definitely should have taken care of 2 of them. Brainstorm from Zach. This is definitely a strong draw. There's a hard cast Force of Will. I think that was a strong Force of Will.
Yeah.
I think so.
You definitely need to do that.
Making sure that you could hard cast it there without losing life. And now he's empty-handed.
He's like, my City of Traders is gone. That's fine.
So now there's a Force of Will, a Brainstorm, and a Daze. That's 6 points of damage off Deathrights to David's 9 life.
Now, David can, continue to get artifacts into play and sack them, gaining 1 life here and there. This can keep him from dying from the Death Right. And I think, yeah, I would. He's like, oh, I can just pay 1, sacrifice Mox Diamond, go up to 10.
And Zach's sitting with these true name nemesises in hand.
These
cards that are like, I just win with them, and here they just are canceled out.
A little bit of thinning from David. He's decided, yeah, I'd like to not draw these lands. Guess we'll go search something up. Not sure if he's at a healthy enough life total to be doing this, but guess we'll find out. If you can find a Sword of the Meek, then this is gonna
almost as good as Mist Griffin. Almost. Why don't you just switch them out in your deck?
So he drew a Mox Diamond.
Couldn't.
Yeah, he wasn't able to sacrifice or discard a land, so it just
put it on
gets
the stack
sacrificed.
and sack it
Mm-hmm.
to Thopter Foundry.
Yeah, he might be able to.
You can.
Yes, David is very close to dead.
Yeah, it comes into play, and then you choose to sacrifice to discard.
Yep.
All right, later, Jeff. Oh man.
I mean, it's a small thing, but ooh, Hierarch. That's probably one of the better draws we could have possibly have.
Yeah, it changes the clock. Death Right is so strong. Apparently, that's a when you're in Asia thing. That's how you talk.
I love this play. He dazes his own Noble Hierarch.
Just to get a daze in the graveyard?
Yep, just to get a daze in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Makes a 1/1 off of
All in, huh?
sacking the Spyglass, which was keeping the Jitte offline.
Jitte online now.
I mean, he needed to do it, right? Just so he didn't die to double Shaman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a meme in Asia. I follow you, Brian. I'm on. Oh, he drew something else.
Faden.
Zach Faden.
I can steal your Jitte.
No.
I can make a 1/1, steal your Jitte, and still die.
He would need to plus putting a Sword of Meek in the graveyard. No, it doesn't work.
It doesn't.
That way. It's still quick.
Yeah. Yep. You now control it. Well done.
You can sacrifice it now.
Yeah. You can sack the Jitte to make a Thopter.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not enough though. I was gonna say you could plus hope to find Sword of Meek, put it into the graveyard, and then leave Bridge up, and then when after he's finished attacking, you could try and
Still just dead to true name nemesis.
And Death Rays just get you.
well yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you leave Ensnaring Bridge up through the attack step, and then once the attack step's finished, then you start gaining life and putting Thopters into play. If
More
you can.
0/1s.
Zach is feeling very noble today. Right?
Don't acknowledge him for the first round.
Academy runes?
Yeah, Academy runes. That's not going to do it. It's like, well, I can still plus. Noble beats are best beats.
Another deck.
I think it's a Dak and a land.
Okay.
Yeah, he's drawn really poorly.
So David put out the Thopter Foundry turn 1 off of Mox Diamond, and then all we saw him draw was lands.
Yep.
There's just nothing happened.
But to be fair, he didn't have anything else either to start with.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he started with Thopter Foundry lands.
Yeah.
So
He kept
That's
maybe
kind
a
of
sketchy hand, because he drew the
No.
bridge,
yep, a little bit of a weak.
and
hand.
all he had was a Mana Rock and 2 Mana Rocks and lands in a Foundry. Another deck may work. Nope.
Another Dak or another deck?
Noble Hierarch is My animal spirit.
Spirit animal. I think that's what they meant.
Nope, it's an animal spirit.
It's an animal spirit.
Yep.
Okay.
They had an animal, it died. Now there's a spirit that haunts them, and they've named it Noble Hierarch.
Nice. All right.
Draw something.
This is Black Red Duretti.
The Iconoclast, or something.
I don't know.
Ingenious
Iconoclast or something like
Yeah,
that.
I think it's Ingenious Iconoclast.
It does things. I don't think it does anything that matters here. You can make a dude. That's what he's going to do. Make a 1/1
it's a defender.
with defender. You can sacrifice an artifact, -1. If you do, destroy target artifact or creature. Does this Tez deck run liquid metal coating?
We don't know yet. We have not seen it.
Because then you can steal their lands and such with Dak.
Mm-hmm. Destroy artifacts with Duretti. I don't think that's true, Brian. I don't think most of them do. I just think it is something that happens. But
Land number 700 from David. That's going to get draw 2, discard 2.
Signet. Jace. It's nice that he doesn't have very many instants and sorceries for those Deathrite Shards to eat.
So David's at 4, is that right now?
he is at 4. He's gonna plus again. Continue to make just gonna make a 1/1 defender every turn and block the Noble Hierarch.
So you'd be able to do a neat thing where you could make the 1/1 defender and then block and then sack it, right? To make a Thopter.
Mm-hmm.
Except he's out of mana to do that.
Yes.
Because that Ancient Tomb is not going to do what he wants.
Dak is pulling through for him though. The card selection has been all he's needed. He just kept drawing lands, and then he's like, "All right, plus Dak, find a spell."
Yeah, and removing the Jute the way he did worked, right? Like that would have ended the game a while ago. Oh, you can't sack tokens? Am I wrong? Is it a non-token artifact?
No, it's non-token. Shepherd Dog, thank you for the
founder.
follow.
That makes sense.
There's so much filter going on here. The Dean. Let's give all my artifacts expert.
That seems like a good thing.
Though he just put a Force Wheel on the graveyard, so he's going to need to make it that too high.
Yeah, now Zach's just waiting on a Brainstorm or a Ponder, something like that to end the game.
Yep. You just put Force Wheel on the bottom.
Down to 2.
So what is the -6 on the Duretti?
I believe you make a copy. You make a copy of.
You got three copies of it.
Yeah, choose target artifact in a graveyard or artifact on the battlefield, and you put 3 tokens that are copies of it onto the battlefield.
Okay, so the turn for Zach then. So if that goes off, he's gonna have money to sack, more to gain life.
Mm-hmm. Now it looks like he has an Abrupt Decay in hand, which I feel like will end the game. Oh, that's right.
Artifacts have hexproof.
Yep. Well, he can still target Dak Faden though.
You can target Dak Faden, but that puts another instant sorcery in the graveyard.
So he can just target his own thing if he needs to.
Yeah,
if he
it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So this should work.
That's what he's looking at, right?
David at 2 life.
I think so.
And that should work. Should be good. Should be game.
Target one of the 3 mana planeswalkers. Kill you. All right, and that's game 1.
You can hear them chuckling over the way that game ended.
So Zach's gonna take game 1. While they're shuffling up, we'll take a look at our backup match, which is
Robert on Burn versus Josh.
On Blue Red Delver.
Oh, am I wrong? Josh is on Delver.
Other Josh.
So Robert's playing Grixis so far.
4-color control.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Probably. Look at those fun Delvers and what's the Storm Chasers and a Daze.
Yeah, who would play this deck?
Who would 5-0 with this? I actually put this together
Did you?
to try out.
I really liked it. The first time I played it, didn't lose, so I liked it. Pretty smooth.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
You get to play Burn with blue creatures.
Yes.
Who doesn't want to do that?
And counter spells.
Price of Progress is a scary card. Okay.
Let's change this thing.
Accidentally 5-0. Oh, big Red Joe. None of my 5-0s have ever been on purpose. You've watched me play Magic. You should know.
I think you probe there without putting your land down first, just so you can see what the last card is. Maybe you draw an island and you can play 2 Delvers. So if you just drew an island, that's bad. Right.
Yep. Not a whole lot else to do here.
Yeah, I think it's always nice to, leave up the play that you can make later until you actually forcefully need to make the play.
Right.
You just know that.
Definitely.
So he starts off with Brainstorm instead of Death Rush on there. Okay.
He's got so many lands in his hand, and he wants to put some back on top. 2 days there.
Prevent the shuffle early.
Because you saw his hand, right?
Yeah, but then the Daze stops the Deathrite Shaman that would get played next, or whatever the other play would be after.
Yeah, it's hard. It really is hard to know when you're supposed to address brainstorms and ponders, right? Dursty, thank you for the follow.
There's Land's favorite card. Vapor Snag.
Land's favorite card.
That destroys a certain 2020 legendary creature.
It does.
It makes them lose a life.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 turns later, they kill you anyway. Yeah.
With another one?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Turbo Depths is the one that it just kills.
It actually works okay in this red-blue Delver deck because it's putting on a high enough clock that all you really need is that 1 turn. But if you're playing it in just about any other Grixis control or whatever, you're not fast enough to
make it matter.
It just delays it by a turn, and then you lose.
Yeah, I'm actually playing the 4-color control deck, and I have a repeal in my deck because of that deck, because of the lands.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I've cast it, it's been amazing.
Oh yeah, it's worked for you.
Because you kill a Mary Leash, and you also draw a card.
Yeah.
No, he cast a Gitaxian Pro, Brian.
Delver number 2. Robert's at next to Dead Life. That's what he's at right now.
Yeah, it's not going to take much more.
In our backup match, Zach is still sideboarding.
Still thinking.
He may have actually drawn an extra card there.
He had 3.
He had 3. Cast your Taxian Probe.
Well, he drew. He drew Gitaxian Probe, played Gitaxian Probe. That's still 4. That was on his turn. He has 3 now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he just cast
2 cards.
Oh, Chain Lightning and Delver?
And Delver.
Maybe.
I think he did. Not 100% sure. But...
These guys are probably on game 2 here.
Yeah,
We just
by the looks of it.
don't know the result of game 1.
He drew Vapor Snack per turn? Yeah, you're right. Interesting.
All right, let's take a peek back at our other match. They're drawing their opening 7s. See if Robert can find something to do.
I think Zach is good. Alright, we're about to head over to the other match. Here we go.
Yeah, let's see if this Tez artifact deck can do something this time. There's a foil unstable swamp for you. I think.
Maybe.
It's kind of hard to tell.
I can't tell.
Nope.
But we've got a turn 1 Demir Signet. He's got Force of Will, Baleful Strix in hand.
So his hand is full of, full, sort of.
Full of forces.
What? Oh, no. He flipped Vapor Snag off Delver and then drew another card. Whoops!
Yeah, it was probably an accident.
So I talked with our judge before our 1K a little bit, and maybe everybody already knows this, but one of the things they cannot do is go back and look at any sort of replay.
Really?
There's absolutely no way. They can't use that as any. So if you said, hey, I saw this on stream, I went back on Facebook and saw it, they have to ignore that entirely.
That's ridiculous.
Because it's an advantage to the players on stream that everyone else doesn't get.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense because it'd be an advantage for, if you wanted to play on stream all the time, or if you got to play on stream all the time, and maybe a disadvantage or advantage.
Right. And my first thought, too, and my first comment was, oh, that seems like something that maybe would change over a while. He's like, no, that actually is the new rule because we want it to be equal playing field to everybody else.
All right, Chalice was the draw. That's going to come down with 1 counter on it.
What a jerk.
No land for turn.
No more Noble Hierarchs. None of that crap.
He plays Ensnaring Bridge and Chalice?
Although he's got a Vindicate in hand.
Nothing happened at the 1K. This was just a conversation beforehand, just talking about as being on stream. If I saw something that I felt like we needed to get a judge involved, he wanted me to know that if it was something that would require replay, he wouldn't.
Looks like Zach's hand is Meddling Mage, Vindicate, Wasteland, Tropical Island, at least.
Right? How is Zach supposed to win without Noble Hierarchs? I don't understand.
Vindicate and Snapcaster Mages.
Fine.
That's all you need. In fact, I think I need to go brew a deck.
Although I think Zach is foregoing snaps, or for the most part, maybe he's playing like 2 or something.
Yeah, I don't think there's any in here.
For the Stoneforge.
He already got the Deathrite in play, which is a pretty big deal, right? If you can get the Deathrite out before Chalice.
Meddling Mage. I wonder who's going to name.
I wonder if it's going to resolve.
Oh boy.
Name Force of Will.
Scared of that.
Yeah, he sure is. I definitely wasn't expecting Force of Will there. Okay. Academy Rune's gonna get wasted.
That's right.
Alpha Strix.
The owl resolves. See, isn't he more noble now? Because he's got an owl?
Yes.
One of those noble hierarch spirit animals.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even an animal. Who said that earlier?
Humans aren't animals?
Nope. Apparently not.
You heard it here.
Well, it was an animal spirit.
Oh.
Right? Yeah. We call those ghosts.
Oh, man. All right, Mox Diamond. Mox Diamond was the draw for David, so he's not sitting on anything too important. He does have Metalcraft, so Inventor's Fair can gain him the life a turn. But this oh, okay.
It's a Chris. Chris
Pikula.
Pikula. There he is. In the flesh.
He's right.
Sort of.
Or
Not in the flesh.
in the paper.
Exactly not in the flesh.
Yeah. There's a Chris Pikula sighting in our store, guys. He lives like way over in the Midwest, but
He just came in for a Tuesday Night Legacy.
Yeah.
He watches the stream.
Yep.
No big deal.
do we need some on what?
Brian got himself, I can't remember if it was Chinese or Japanese, flooded strands. And so
Okay.
now he has a bunch of onslaught flooded strands that he doesn't need. So instead of just selling them, he's advertising them on a Twitch stream.
I mean, that's one way to sell it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I still need some foil Cons of Cartier ones. I think I need two.
Traditional Chinese. There you
I think I
go.
want some onslaught ones actually.
There you
Regular
go.
Ones. Are they Chinese ones or are they regular?
Regular. He replaced his regulars with
You found somebody, Brian. Well
traditional
done.
Chinese.
I might want.
I might want this. We'll see. All right, polluted delta decides to play the polluted delta instead of playing the Mox Diamond. Kind of interesting.
So there's this natural progression for fetch lands, right? You get Cons of Tarkir polluted deltas, for example, and then after you have those, then you're like, oh, I want to get foil ones. Okay, so then you get foil ones, and then you're like, I'd rather get the onslaught ones. Okay, then your next choice is either judge foil onslaught ones or foil onslaught ones.
Mm-hmm.
There are also expeditions.
Yeah. See, that's not natural progression. That's just going sideways.
Some people go sideways.
No. The not the promo ones, but the pack foil onslaught deltas. Oh, the price on those is not fun.
Yeah, what are they? What, $300?
Yeah, something. I think it's more than that now.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
See, Perry and Repost understands.
I remember trading for my first polluted delta when it was $90 for an onslaught regular one because it was the only one.
Yep.
And the foils were probably like $200. And now the foils are $400.
I built my cube before Cons of Tarkir came out, so I had to get one of each.
Yeah.
They were hard to get.
Traded a Liliana of the Veil for a Bloodstained Mire. And it was a great trade for me.
Worth it.
That was so I could build
At
my
the time.
Jun deck. My Legacy Jun deck.
Isn't it weird how there's some of those trades you just don't forget ever? You have a nearly entirely not Magic card food chain deck?
Yeah, because he has all the expeditions.
No, expeditions are alright. I just mean...
It's just
if
not
you're
a part of natural
upgrading-
progression.
Yeah, if you're
This was-
upgrading your legacy
The whole
duels,
thing
Yeah.
was about natural progression.
yeah,
Mhm.
then you're doing something different.
Right.
Then, I'll just get expeditions. Okay, you go for it.
I started down the Expedition road. Now I just want the regular Onslaught.
So it looks like he spyglassed the Inventor's Fair there.
Mhm.
At least he pointed at it as if that's what he was naming.
I would assume so. He still gets to gain the life, but he can't go searching.
Can Spyglass hit land?
Yeah, it can hit. It's
Yeah.
Pithing Needle.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
So
exactly
not mana
Pithing Needle.
sources,
Yeah.
but it can shut off activated abilities.
Yeah, it just confused everybody because everybody had a hard time with Phyrexian Revoker and Pithing Needle, like which one did what, and then they made Spyglass, and people are like, wait, but which one does that?
Mm-hmm.
What one does that branch to? It branches to the Pithing Needle side.
If you need a side.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's
Pay
how
one
they're
more
all
to
going to
see
be from
their
now
hand.
on.
Yes,
I like it.
A1 more to their hand.
It's really strong.
Very powerful.
Even in a deck where you're not trying to hit the thing that's in their hand, just being able to Gitaxian Pro, because if you're playing Cabal Therapy, it's fantastic.
I was playing Eldrazi Post Online the other day, and I cast it on turn 1, and here I was playing against Turbo Depths. They had I think I was just gonna name like Thespian Stage, right? And then I see their hand and just 2 Verdant Catacombs with their lands. I just name Verdant Catacombs, and they don't get a single land the whole game, and I win. Like it was insane.
Yep.
Inventor's Fair. Can we see what he wrote on the Mr. Meddling Mage there?
I can't tell.
I can't tell you.
Maybe Thopter Foundry.
That would make sense. Or Dak Faden. Looks like 2 words.
Yep.
I think it is Thopter Foundry. I can't quite tell. Maybe one of our viewers who has a really, really big screen in front of them can tell us. Perhaps.
No.
Attacking.
So we got a Crucible of the Worlds for David, but his Ruins was exiled.
I think this is a pretty easy block to make.
Easy block. I think it's an easy attack as well.
Yep.
Because you have to get in at some point, and this way he can start hitting it with the Meddling Mage and keep it alive. And... Nice try, though.
If you have a larger screen size, you still can't read the writing. Is that what you're saying? No. Okay. Yeah, when I'm watching at home, I like to just put it on the big screen and just I get really close. Makes me no. That'd be neat if I did that.
That was definitely an interesting decision for Zach to do that, though, because if he doesn't put it on, if he actually doesn't put it on the Deathrite Shaman there, he can lock, or he can take out care of the Pluto Delta, which in turn lets him play a land from the graveyard each turn.
Yep. And now he gets to throw this ancient tomb away to the Mox Diamond.
Yeah.
And just play his Delta again.
He wrote Timbler Lamboff. Yeah,
Timbler Lamboff.
That's what I thought it said, but couldn't figure out what card that was. I like it. Yeah, does he play Wasteland? I wouldn't be surprised if you're running Crucible. Having Wastelands makes sense.
I would assume so.
Oh, he did. I saw it. I saw it in his deck when he was shuffling through it.
Yeah.
Hey, Tyson, welcome in.
And then if a Wasteland comes down, that losing Deathrite will not feel good.
True. But he can activate Adventure's Fair now, and so he can go get something.
Well, can he? No, I thought the Spyglass was on Adventure's Fair.
Oh, that's right. That's what it is.
Who is GBA? That is Mr. Brian Anderson himself. Yep, this is just going to eat up the counter.
Pumps his mage to make it survive the Whip Flare. Okay. Kind of like holding the Whip Flare there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Whip Flare is really doing by being cast here. Prevents like a little bit of damage, I guess.
If the Stoneforge Mystic could come down or something like that.
Puts him still dead to that. Oh no, he's not dead to it next turn actually, because he can. Maybe he just wastes the Adventure's Fair, so he's dead to it next turn. Because Adventure Fair is still gaining him 1 life every turn, right? So he's at 6. He's.
I think it does. If you have 3 or more, right?
No, now he's definitely dead, unless he draws something.
Yeah, the Whip Flare is a sorcery. Is that what you were asking?
Yeah, Whip Flare's a sorcery. It's like Pyroclasm, but does not hit artifacts.
Yeah, it doesn't hit affinity decks.
Well, let's see. It needs to be a good one.
Sword of the Meek is not going to do it.
So this is kind of what I was talking about, where certain combo decks, if you just get half of the action, right, they just do nothing. And we kind of saw that from this Tezzerator deck.
Yep.
Whereas other decks in Legacy, I feel like they're a little bit better at assembling what they need to assemble. Not that Tezzerator can't do it.
Sure.
All right, so we just saw a 4-color blade deck beat Tezzerator, and we'll check up with our backup match, which is Blue-Red Delver versus what looks like a 4-color blade. I guess it is 4-color blade. Might just be Esper Death Blade, honestly. Not sure.
He played Whip Flare, deals 2 damage to each non-artifact creature. And a Pyrostatic Pillar is down. making everybody lose some life. It's the Eidolon.
Eidolon, a great revel
The Eidolon
on an
of
enchantment.
not a creature.
that doesn't have creature on it.
Yeah. That one.
That one.
Wow. Okay, so not 4-color control. Robert.
Yeah, definitely Blade. There's a Stoneforge Mystic in his graveyard.
And a very purpley Gideon over there. It is not in play. Maybe it's an emblem.
I honestly can't tell.
Maybe he emblemed it that way and he's showing it that way.
That would make sense.
Making your true name nemesis a little bit bigger is worth it. And you're racing.
I thought about playing, what was that, 8, 7 life?
7 life.
Yeah, that dice is
Yeah, our blue dice disappeared.
super easy to
This
read.
was the only one I had. So.
Works. You can figure it out.
Yeah.
He's getting down with the sickness. Oh dear. We have a Swift's pair.
So Swiss.
It's a Taylor Swift's pair.
Stadatnu.
Uh-oh. He just
Welcome
said
in.
heyo.
He said,
That's not very
you're
piratey.
dead unless you do something.
The last pirate set was released. He doesn't have to be all piratey. Now he has to be all corsetty.
Corset's not next.
Is it not corset?
No, we have Dominaria.
I thought it was corset then Dominaria.
Nope.
Am I wrong?
Pretty sure.
Oh.
No, he better have Smash to Smithereens, or else he's dead.
That's the one card he has to go off of.
It's probably.
No,
Look, you just got a pun.
did I make a pun? Oh dear. A punt.
A punt. Bryce puns. Bryce punts. They're the same thing.
Dominaria is in April, and then Core is in July.
Ah,
We
my
get
bad.
Masters first in March.
Dominaria is next.
Yep.
I really thought it was opposite.
Corsetti.
That was pretty funny.
Is that like a kind of like a Duretti deck? Corsetti, Duretti.
Mm-mm.
It sounds like a vehicle.
Like a kind of underpowered one.
Like a really bad
Crew one
Corvette.
for a 1/1.
An Italian Corvette.
An Italian corset.
Corsetti.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah, this game's not looking good for Josh.
Isn't he just dead?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
And there is a handshake.
Okay,
This
so
makes
wait, a true name nemesis with a sword on it beats other decks.
Seems like it would.
That's what I've heard.
A core Firewalker plus Duretti equals Corsetti.
Mm-hmm.
A core Duretti, a core Fire Duretti. I don't think someone play as Kanta. Someone stop this. Let's make them change their subject here. I like it.
All right. I'm not sure if this was a 2-0 win or a 2-1 win, but Robert's going to take this one down.
You know, what's kind of funny there is if Josh doesn't play that, he doesn't play the Monastery Swift Spear right there, he wins the game.
Handshake after game 1? No, definitely not game 1.
If he doesn't play the Swiss Spear, he wins. That's
Yeah.
why.
Because he has Fire Blast, Parse of Progress.
Oh, you had a line there.
Is that actually what he had in his hand?
Yeah.
So he could have just won.
Yeah.
Wait, how many? Yeah, there were three non-basics. That's 6 down. Yeah. He was at 10.
He's at 10. He took one from the Swift Spear, but Robert had 4. Because he just fetched for the last one.
So if he just waited.
Interesting. Maybe just a missed line there. Didn't quite.
I mean, maybe Robert had a Force Will or something.
Yeah.
It
Maybe.
didn't matter, but
Yeah, just about anything would have stopped that.
All right, you guys can see our round timer is ticking down here. So we should start round 2 pretty soon.
all right, that's my cue.
Thanks for
been fun.
joining us.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see if I can win my next 3 rounds.
So you're on the 4-color tonight, huh?
I'm on 4 color tonight,
All right.
so we'll see how that goes.
You just don't like that 5th color, huh? Just can't.
I don't have tenders anymore.
I thought about it.
I have one.
I'm serious.
I have one to help you.
I really want to play Celestial Purge. I'm not even joking. Like in this meta, it's like really good.
Yeah, I can see that.
But
All right.
All right,
Harry's
pairings.
just went up. Well, good luck.
Sorry,
Have fun.
Corey, we don't get to watch your match.
all good.
Later. All right, so Corey's gonna head back out there.
Everyone's playing 4-color something. Yeah, right? It's as if it's like the best deck or something.
Or something.
Or fun to play and pretty good. Is anybody playing Nyx tonight? Is anybody playing your deck?
Yes, somebody is playing my deck, and they are not on camera this round.
I suppose we could change that if somebody really wants to see Nyx in paper.
You definitely could.
You don't play any 4-color? Not even sometimes? Yeah, you do. You play 3 colors plus colorless. That's a 4-color deck right there.
Can't remember. I think John plays Burn. I'm guessing. And then on our okay, so we've got Josh playing Miracles, I would assume. Playing John, and like I said, I think he's playing Burn. We've got Terry and Max. I think we should watch Terry and Max.
Ooh, sorry, everybody. Woo! I'm awake. Ready? I'm ready.
Are you sure?
Round 2. Ready, set, go.
Are you done ready?
Artifacts are like a negative color, so you're playing 2 colors, is what you're saying. Brian. I don't think that's how it works. You're playing cheating cards where you're playing with an extra zone.
I don't think Brian understands.
Nope. Nope.
Poor kid.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, let's get my timer updated here.
Yep. It's in between rounds. It's kind of boring.
Bryce is full already. Oh, man.
You play all the zones. You're like, this is my commander.
Two people haven't sat down yet. Yes, 4-color would cease to exist without Death Ray Shaman. Well, maybe not all of them, but it would absolutely kill a couple of them.
It's kind of a weird thing to say, though, right? Like, Show and Tell would disappear if Show and Tell disappeared.
Nixfit would not be Nixfit if Academy Rector wasn't there.
Yeah, right? Like, I mean, you're right, but Death Ray Shaman's not going anywhere.
Brian is so kindly reminding you how we feel about our followers. Or how you feel about our followers.
Any of our followers.
Mm-hmm.
Completely taken out of context.
Yep.
Jorgensen's not here to defend himself, and so I was not impressed by our other followers because somebody followed while we were doing this in between rounds thing, and it was impressive. Like, no one else has followed right now, right? So they were more impressive.
We've had a couple followers.
Not while we're waiting in between rounds, though.
No,
yeah, see?
not.
Somebody did
Definitely
that.
not.
They're like, hey, I'm going to follow these 2 guys that are just talking at us and yawning.
Speak for yourself. Jeez.
Pun impressed. I like that. That can be a thing from now on. Instead of a pun count, it can be pun impressed.
Pun impressed. I love it. All right. So we've got Terry versus Max. Then on our backup match we've got Josh versus John.
It's kind of a cool playmat.
The Spellgrounds. He's got many Spellground mats. I'm jealous of them all. They're so cool. We've got Max with this Days mat. Kind of awesome.
Has more staying power.
Ah.
Because it's awesome for days.
No.
Guys, don't. That was not impressive. He better be playing Daisies for flavor. Right?
Yeah, because like,
boo. Who are these new people? Terry's been around here for the last little while. He beat me down, or we ended up drawing a couple weeks ago.
I think this is Pox. I think Max is playing Pox. Oh no! Oh yeah, I think I just saw Phyrexian Obliterator. Yeah.
Ooh, so just some mono black.
Just call it mono black. Mono black.
And Terry's on a 4-color.
Is that what he's on?
Yeah. 4-color control instead of 4-color blade, I believe.
Yeah, we really do have a lot of 4-color decks in our store lately.
And that's a Delver. That's a new from the Vault Delver with the new art. That's not really new art. It's just kind of new art.
It's basically the same art, but it has the From the Vault foiling.
You mean the ugly foiling?
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's what I said. Lands in front. Yeah, Terry does that.
Terry does do that. We're just gonna have to get over it. All right, here's a Pithing Needle.
Just don't let him play with his hand up, because then it ends up like another weird spot too.
I have no idea what this Pithing Needle's on. Turn 1 Pithing Needle.
You can safely name Deathrite Shaman.
Probably.
You could name a fetch land. You could name Polluted Delta or Scalding Tarn. Freaking Terry. Freaking land.
Where'd your pen go?
Somewhere over there. Oh my god.
You just threw his
In
pen.
case I need to write things down.
Yeah.
I like to take notes.
No, you don't.
Nope. That card is gifted.
Gifted Aetherborn.
He has been gifted with the... this is the Vampire Nighthawk that doesn't have flying and costs 1 less. It's actually a really good card. It's surprising. So it's a 2/3, and it's not bad at all in Legacy. It's surprising. I've played against it, and I was surprised at how
Obnoxious it was.
much of a beating it was putting on me.
Well, it keeps up with Deathrite Shaman easily. It blocks a lot of things.
Yeah.
Even if they have a true name nemesis, they're like skeptical about attacking.
Almost as bad as when people tap things to the left. The tap symbol clearly taps to the right. You untap to the left. Printed right on the card.
All right, Force of Will is the reveal, and now we get to see the backside of these.
Yeah, you
FTV
just
Delvers.
don't you love that art, guys? You can just really appreciate the nobody can see it.
Yeah, nobody can see it.
It's great,
It's fantastic.
and it really doesn't look that different
Nope.
than if you guys want, you can send me your ugly from the vault ones, and I'll alter them to make them look like normal ones.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yep.
Do it.
I'll take the foiling process off, give it the Innistrad picture, everything. You won't even be able to tell the difference.
Just do the world a favor.
Just for a small charge.
Just for a small charge.
Yep.
I love it. All right, Young Pyromancer's the play. And what is this? A Hymn to Torok.
I'm pretty sure, I think I've said this before, we need to maybe march or something to get a her to Turok. Have some equality. It's
I
just
agree.
kind of messed up.
She costs three black mana and makes them discard three cards at random.
Is that what it does? That'd be really good.
Okay, that would be insane. No, that wouldn't be equality.
I can't tell if that
wouldn't be
joke is appropriate or not, though.
That wouldn't be equality.
Like, is it? What do you think, chat? Is it all right to make a joke about?
Equality?
About anything dealing with or is that just in bad taste?
As long as it's noticeably sarcastic, I have no issue with it. All right, so we're gonna see a hand of Swamp Wasteland Phyrexian Obliterator. Now, Phyrexian Obliterator. I'll kind of pull this up because this card is just absolutely insane.
It says, "I obliterate you," and if you kill it, it says, "I'll be back."
Brian loves all like crude comedy though, so this isn't surprising to hear from Brian. Brian's like, I'm good with it.
Just picture the Terminator after he's been Phyrexianed, and this is what you get: the obliterator.
The Obliterator.
That's my Schwarzenegger voice right there. It's pretty bad.
It was pretty bad.
You punt with Obliterator and Cube. Yeah, it can be tricky to. Everybody knows what it does, and then when it's actually in play, you go, "Oh yeah, that's how that works."
This is what it actually says: 4 mana, 5/5, can't be blocked.
Yeah,
That's what it says.
Yeah, and don't attack into this because you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And other things.
Yeah.
Don't play Blasphemous Act.
Sacrifice all your permanents.
that would be kind of a punt.
That'd be beautiful.
But I like it. That seems like the right thing to do.
Yeah, this is going to be lethal. He was only 8 life.
Wait, 2 flipped Delvers win?
I guess.
2 very quick, early flipped Delvers win the game, guys.
Well, that was a quick one. So, as it turns out, the From the Vault Delvers win just as quickly as normal Delvers.
It was a little slower.
Was it slower?
Yeah, it's he had to wait till his upkeep.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that's how it worked out.
All right, let's just jump over.
Hey, look.
Oh, this is
not
Death,
Burn.
This is not Burn. This is Legacy Death Shadow. Death Shadow. Okay.
Does Death have a shadow? That doesn't really make sense.
No.
Which is obviously why somebody just won that game.
I believe John did.
Ooh. Death Shadow takes game 1.
Which means we can go to our other match.
Where they're shuffling.
Where they are also shuffling, yes.
Your mom has a shadow. She does. I think. I don't think that's wrong, actually.
Wow, savage.
What are those tablets called? They are boogie boards? Boogie.
Yeah, boogie boards. Mm-hmm.
You can find them on Amazon for like $20 or something like that. They're a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
If you like that kind of thing.
The only thing is it makes me mad because they have smaller ones, but the battery can't be replaced. So like they'll last you like a couple months, and then you have to buy a new one. And I don't want like one of the big ones.
They last longer than a couple months, though.
Maybe they do.
That's what makes you mad. That's the thing that just.
I want a small one with an interchangeable battery.
And the other day I was looking, and there were these things on Amazon, but that's what makes me mad. They don't have a battery.
Yeah, I'm pissed. I guess I'm picky. I don't know. I actually really want to buy one.
Walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
See, Perry and Repo says that's annoying too.
Death's shadow.
The large ones you can change the battery when they run out.
I think the
small ones you can't.
The small ones are like $20 and they last for up to 10 hours. It's like the battery itself is like $8, right? Why not just buy a new board instead of you can throw it at people? It's great. You could have extra ones. Boogie. Is that what they are? B-O-G-G-Y?
I think it's B-O-G-I-E. Yeah. Look them up on Amazon. I've definitely put a little research into them because I want one quite badly actually.
You could just get a like a Surface or a Apple, the iPad Pros for like $800 with the Apple Pen that's like another $100.
That sounds like a way better deal.
Yeah,
they're rechargeable.
It's rechargeable. It can plug in. I have in my backpack. I can look in. I have in. I have on in. I like it, Big Red Joe. Suddenly he became German.
Yeah, I guess.
I have on in my backpack.
All right, I'm interested in seeing what this mono black deck can do. I don't where it's good.
No,
none of us do. None of us do.
It was really good. Yeah, we got to say something that was totally off topic. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Etch a Sketch.
Etch a Sketch.
Hold on. You're saying I have to go and correct my life total?
Shake.
Wait, now what were you at?
Oh, okay. Man. Moses the Coup, I am definitely getting an Etch a Sketch now. No question about it.
Play a pithy needle. I'm going to name Polluted Delta. P.
Hold on.
Oh, that card was innocent.
Innocent Blood's going to take
poor
out
Delver. That wasn't a guilty Delver.
Oh man.
Let's put Etch a Sketch for future matching. Just the entire table.
Oh my goodness, that'd be terrible. We do definitely need new ways for life total, Brian.
The young Pyromancer may have been more innocent than the Delver of Secrets.
Wow. Max is keeping really, really land-heavy hands.
So he's announcing the triggers, apparently. There you go. If you're playing Super Tournament play, you shouldn't... You cast Cataxian Probe and then announce the trigger.
Yeah.
Before they reveal their hand or before you draw a card. Definitely before you draw a card. Gotta cast those Terminators. Yeah, you need the mana. You need the swab.
Yep.
So you can cast Terminator.
Wait, but you have that actually wasn't as bad as the last time. Nice. Like, you're not gonna get wastelanded, you know. Like, I don't think you need to keep quite that land heavy of a hand, but maybe it's just drawn them right.
So here's a pretty good case study for when this Gifted Aetherborn's really strong. Here's Terry with Pyromancer. He's making a whole bunch of tokens, and they're not gonna be doing very much for a while.
I'll look into it, Brian. See if there's a good app for life total. I have one. I have one that I like.
Yeah. This one would show up on stream pretty well. We could test it out today if you guys want.
I think you might have the same one as me then.
It's called Carbon.
Maybe not.
Right to begin. So it's like. Oh, I did one player. All right. Anyway, we're gonna try that out later.
What is this?
Victim of the Night.
Victim of Night.
To go with their shadowy. No, wait, this is a different deck.
Oh.
Need dedicated devices for life totals. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big thing, Brian. I'm not really worried about the app. I have one that I think is worth using. Carbon would work as well. It's more about the devices. They don't still do like iPod touches, do they? like cheap ones.
There's an iPad Mini, which would, I mean, they're expensive, but the size is correct for this.
Yeah. You can't move closer. You want to move closer?
Right.
No, it's this thing.
Oh.
There we go.
The young Pyromancer becomes a victim of the night. He's a victim of the night.
And these tokens don't compare to what this Gifted Aetherborn is going to do. It's just going to gain too much life. Either that, or they're going to have to game block the Gifted Aetherborn at some point.
Why would you play Victim of the Night as opposed to like Fatal Push? Is that what you're asking? It deals with big things.
It's for stuff like Gurmag Angler. It just kills anything. Yeah, exactly. It kills like every creature in Legacy. Just about.
I don't think it's a 4 of in this deck. I think
No.
it's a 1 or 2 of.
Mm.
Maybe a 2/2 split with Fatal Push or something like that.
It's probably close enough to a Terminate.
Yeah.
I would expect.
Yeah.
Think of it more like that. So we've got a Hymn to Torok. It's a 4 that he's rolled, and then they're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Gurmag is
So,
a zombie, so that
4 is
doesn't
gonna
work.
hit the middle card.
It doesn't hit the zombies, you're right. Yep. So the one card in Legacy it doesn't hit is Gurmag Angler.
It doesn't hit Gurmag Angler. Oh, my bad. Oh, that's hilarious. That's the one creature that I was thinking of. It like hits bigger stuff, doesn't kill it.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
We see Max just has 2 lands in hand.
See that, Brian? You can't even misdirection the Victim of Night into the Gifted Aetherborn. You can't even do that.
You should play Chupacabra. Nope.
That'd actually be kind of strong.
The Tassigermer, what was it called?
Tassamad Gurmafangler? Yeah, this is going to make him sacrifice a creature. Not doing a whole lot at the moment. He's just kind of waiting for a way to either A, kill this Deathrite Shaman, or B, actually get something threatening on the board.
Yeah, and yet he'd be dead if it wasn't for the Etherborn. Brian said something about being at the coolest hotel in the Philippines. What makes it so cool? I want to know.
Oh, shoot, what is that card? It was a commander card.
Sure.
I have it in my cube. I can't remember the name of it. Let's see if I can find it before chat does. Should be able to find it pretty easy.
Hey, the Etherborn dies. Gets bolted.
Bolt will do it.
It's got 2 rooms, and it's a very new Marriott. Basically, a nice. Oh, so your room has 2 rooms, or the entire Marriott has 2 rooms? Because that'd be a small hotel.
Ooh, it does not want me to find things. Yeah, it's 2 mana, 2 black mana.
Here's the Tassigrimra Fingler. I can't say this cool.
Tassimag Grimafingler?
Yep, that one.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna find it.
Toxic Deluge. Oh man! So what he should have done there is he could have attacked.
Malicious Affliction.
That's the one.
Malicious Affliction.
So he could have attacked with his 2/2 second creature guy. If he blocks with the Angler, then he can Toxic Deluge for less afterwards. Or if he just chumps, then whatever. But
well, here we go. Here's a Liliana. Yeah, let's get rid of Delver. Goes down to 1 loyalty.
Malicious Affliction.
You typed it as I said it. You probably found it first.
It's like a Mardi Gras thing. Malicious Affliction instead of a malicious affliction.
That would be interesting, Brian. Oh, we found it. Phyrexian Obliterator. We got it. Here it is.
I told you he would be back.
He's back.
An upscale event center for legacy tournaments with a monthly membership instead of entry fees. Huh.
That would be interesting. Look at that. Liliana and Phyrexian Obliterator. Even things up. This is legacy.
Yeah. We played Swamps.
Yeah, Swamps and Wastelands.
And he had a Urborg. Well, you actually can beat the Terminator. That was kind of the whole point of the movies.
Alright, so while they're sideboarding, let's head back over to Josh's and John's match.
You just shut down Skynet, and then they never existed in the first place, and like seems
we
like
missed
that was
it.
pretty obvious if you've watched any of those.
But we missed it.
You use the Terminator against the other Terminators, and then so you use an older one, kind of a beat up Terminator, against the shiny new Terminator.
Yeah. Does he play Nykthos? I don't know.
I don't think
but
so.
He's got a lot of black mana symbols. It wouldn't would it be all that surprising to see like a Grave Merchant? That'd be funny. Alright, I guess we're gonna watch people shuffle.
We didn't see Smallpox.
No, this does not seem to be a Smallpox deck.
It's
You
just a
can't.
mono black
I don't think you can run Smallpox with a Phyrexian Obliterator.
So I haven't actually seen. I've seen some brews of these type of mono black lists, and it has game against certain decks in Legacy.
Yes.
It also just loses to other decks in Legacy.
Mhm.
Like it has enough hand disruption that it can put up a fight against a lot of the field. But if you don't get that in the right way, like against lands, for example, good luck, or certain other decks where they just don't care that you've got a bunch of big black creatures that hurt you.
What is this pile shuffling?
He's making all of the piles, of course. You should play Arena, because then
No,
Arena
not Arena.
and
Come on now.
Obliterator. You put the Terminator in the arena, and you put the other thing in the arena, and boom.
Silly. Maybe Phyrexian Arena. Maybe that one.
It probably should
settle
play that
settle
card.
down, Big Red Joe. Come on.
I like it.
Yeah, I was not thinking Arena when he said Arena, even though I know that's a card. Kind of expected Phyrexian Arena to be the card he was talking about. I'm like, yeah, for sure. Double black,
Mhm.
draws you an extra card every turn. It's great. I haven't seen Bitter Blossom yet either. It's another card I would kind of expect to see since he's playing like Innocent Blood and stuff.
It's kind of fun when a list like this pops up and does decent with it, right? We're assuming he won last round because it's kind of a fun surprise. What card?
Yeah.
What? What's he going to play next?
Yeah, we don't
What could be?
we don't know his deck list.
And there's enough different ways you can go with a deck like this that there is some variety.
All right. Turn 1 probe. We see 3 swamps, a wasteland, a Hymn to Torok, a Phyrexian Obliterator, and an Innocent Blood.
This is a pretty strong opening hand, right? Terry gets to see it, so he can kind of play around it, but he also kind of can't. If you don't put out the turn 1 threat, then Innocent Blood just is going to hang around till later. Or the turn 1 threat that you could have played might get hymned. It's not... You kind of have to play into some of these answers that Mono Black has in hopes that your threats last longer.
Right. He is kind of in a position where he's like, okay, do I want to wasteland this turn or do I want to Innocent Blood?
Yeah, and you could wait a little while and hope for like a young Pyromancer, make a token, and then Innocent Blood's pretty dead.
I like this play a lot. He goes, play swamp, pass.
Yeah.
He is very, very much respecting the days. Like, yeah, 100%. Turn 2 Innocent Blood you.
It looks like Terry might have 2 dazes.
He does, but not 2
Yeah,
islands.
Yeah, it doesn't have 2 islands.
And if he doesn't actually have another land, I expect this next turn to be Hymn to Torok into Wasteland.
So he just pays the mana for this, bro.
Yeah, so he's got... The new card we see in Max's hand is Vampire Nighthawk. Yep. Hymn to Torok. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards.
Pack Rat? Pack Rat would be an interesting, at least as like a sideboard card against certain decks.
3 and 6, so 2. We're going to get a Daze and a Diabolic Edict.
I mean, look at that playmat! He's not only playing around days, he's playing on days.
Whoa.
Yeah, I could keep going for days with these tunes.
You really could.
So much so that I could put you in a confounded state of mind, like a...
Yeah. Yeah, Rick Smotty, you're absolutely right. If he could have dazed the Vampire Nighthawk, and if he had done, or not Nighthawk, the hymn, that way either the hymn wouldn't resolve, or the way he gets to save his Underground Sea.
Yeah, but then you burn another card in your hand.
Yeah, that's true. All right, he attacks the Vampire Nighthawk, gets bolted, plays a Gifted Aetherborn, and then we've got a Delver of Secrets from Terry.
Somebody gave him that card.
Who?
Did you know? I don't know who, because it was gifted to him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's just awesome. Can't quite see Terry's life total, but I don't imagine it's too different. Still respecting days. Max is showing that you don't have to own blue duels to win games.
No, I'm pretty sure he owns them. He's just choosing not to play them.
Probably. He's like, no, I like these swamp cards.
Playing around Wasteland today.
Big Red Joe's pun impressed.
Yeah. He just keeps typing it. He's got it on like copy paste. Control V, Control V, Control V.
Pun impressed. You would think he'd find a land off this brainstorm. Still no land. This is one thing about Delver that can be a little A little annoying. They don't have a ton of land in their.
That Delver is from the I'm Dead set.
Yes.
It just died to a. No, that's the From the Vault.
It's the most recent From the Vault, yeah. From the Vault Transform.
From the Vault, it doesn't look good.
From the Vault. The art is actually just the same.
I like foil Delvers, and you can find out that they're not.
So this is Engineered
They're not
Plague. Right?
Mm-hmm. This one?
That's not the art,
It's
though.
just the legacy one.
There's his legacy.
It's this.
And that'll do it. Dang it, I was going to pull up
You
Engineered
can still
Plague.
pull it up.
Fine.
I mean, the card art makes absolutely no sense. You've got this lizard dinosaur thing, along with 2 goblins, but you have to pick one, unless the thing in the middle is supposed to be a goblin, and then it makes more sense. Maybe he's the one who engineered the plague, and he's got the plague, and he's giving it to the goblins.
Okay.
See, it makes no sense. Come on, Michael Sutphin.
Seriously. Unbelievable. Alright, so that's going to do it. Mono Black is 2-0. I'm super excited to see this list continue to advance in the tournament. And this is back to John on Death Shadow and Josh on Blue White Miracles. They are 1-1 in Game 3 with 18 minutes left. They have plenty of time. Now I do think that John plays Death Shadow in Modern.
It's a good card in Modern.
Yeah,
It's a mediocre card in Legacy.
it is. I mean, I want to say Josh has played this this deck. Maybe
Yeah.
it was Grixis or Blue Black or something. This looks like a 4-color version.
Big Red Joe
Sultai,
said,
Sultai.
I don't like this counterbalance, and John heard you. He's like, let's get rid of that quickly.
Don't want to deal with it.
Get rid of it abruptly. Just make it go away. Hey, look. I do altars.
Yeah, MTG bot.
It says so right there.
It knows. It's like, hey guys, just let you know.
Guys, if you want to check out some altars, click on that link and check out some fun things that I've been up to. I've been having a lot of fun doing altars for people in the stream. I've got like 4 orders right now for various people that watch us on Tuesdays. It's kind of it makes it more fun than just people I don't know at all. It makes it sound like I know you guys, which I'll pretend I do.
Right. Yo, it's Tony says, why cast 1 mana blue spells to dig for answers when you can just pay 4 mana or
4 swamps.
place 4 swamps in the Obliterator?
Yeah. See, Batusai. He's like, I like
Yeah.
altars.
Glad somebody in here does. Jeez. Yeah, Josh looks to be out of a hand, and I can't quite tell, but there may be 1 or 2 cards left in John's. But a ponder off the top for Josh. He's just gonna give it an old shuffle. Best hashtag this stream, Altar Boys.
You thought I sold altars? Yeah. If you want an altar, I could.
Isn't that spelled differently? Pretty sure it's spelled differently. I think it's an AR instead of an ER, but I could be wrong.
It's like
I'm
clicks on
not-
a page. Ooh, I want to see some altars.
I'm not exactly known.
Big marble slabs with some candles on them.
All right, we have a Shardless agent.
I think I am doing a it's not Phyrexian altar, is it? Card from. Oh, I'll have to find it. I think I am doing an altar of an altar.
Are you really?
I think so.
It's either going to be Ashnod's or Phyrexian.
Yo, it's Tony. That'd be sweet.
It's true. I'm not a doctor. It's true.
I really liked how that
So I really wouldn't know.
Spirit Guide came out. I'm going to be doing some more along the lines of those ones here soon. It's fun to mess with the old frame and kind of give it a new frame.
So here's an EE. I do think that this is just going to deal with this Deathrite Shaman here in a turn. Now, Shardless Agent from Yeah, Shardless Agent in a deck with Probe. I think he's just doing it for value, right? Like it's just it's a Sultai Death Shadow deck. I like it. You know, it's like, I mean, then again, I'm a fan of Bloodbraid Elf, so I look at Shardless Agent and I'm like, yes.
It doesn't quite do the same thing, right? Bloodbraid. When you got your Bloodbraids going earlier today, that was amazing, right?
It was insane.
When you have a Sylvan Library out and you get to manipulate which card you're going to trigger, and you just get to keep casting because you just drew infinite Bloodbraids. Sultai and Shardless Agent does something quite differently, right? It's not nearly as fast. You're not being as aggressive with it. So it's true that hitting a probe off of a Shardless Agent, it's got to feel kind of weak.
Nah.
As opposed to drawing 3 cards.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it's not great. Sometimes it's fantastic. It can go either way. Yeah, I like this. Just uptick Lily. We knew what was on top, so Council's Judgment's going to get cast. Voting. We're going to vote for Liliana. Looks like both people are going to vote for Liliana. It actually should be in exile.
So what's kind of interesting is back when Miracles was the deck, Shardless Agent, along with Ancestral Vision, was kind of the way to beat it, right? That's why that deck was so strong and powerful and played heavily.
Yeah, it had a lot of card advantage.
And here we are seeing Miracles, and against the board is Shardless Agent. The card has pretty much fallen away and doesn't get played much at all. It's still a deck, but it's kind of been replaced by 4-color or various other options.
Ooh, Tarmogoyf. This is going to be large.
Yeah, exactly. Smash. We're going to do some very inappropriate graveyard manipulation here to check sources.
I actually need to let them know that the Liliana's not in the graveyard.
They already shook.
They did?
Yeah, they're picking up. It maybe was on Xaxes anyway.
Maybe. Okay. Wanted to get that out there as soon as possible because they didn't get that.
Not quite fast enough.
Dang.
So that finishes it. Death Shadow takes round 2 against Josh on Miracles. So we had mono black win, and we had this. We haven't actually seen a Death Shadow, right? We're just assuming there's a Death Shadow.
No. When we first went over, there was a Death Shadow. And it makes sense. He's playing Shocklands. There were Shocklands.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which isn't always a giveaway. There's a lot of decks when you can actually play a Shocklander 2 in a lot of these legacy decks and not have it be that detrimental most of the time.
I've actually had quite a few people come up to me and they're like, "Yeah, I just can't get into legacy. It's too expensive." And I'm like, It's not that big of a deal. You know, we all own plenty of things. Just you know, we can help you out, lend you a couple things. If you can't quite get there, throw in a shock or two. They shouldn't prevent you from playing legacy.
Moses, have a good night. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Black is just getting there.
Whoa.
So we're gonna do this fun thing where you guys get to see us. Hey, Here we are. Hello.
Hey,
Round ends in 11 minutes. All right. Things to look at. This is a little outdated, but I'll pull it up.
You have things to look at?
Sure. Well, I have the same 3 websites that I look at, right?
Okay.
There's nothing really exciting in this, but there's some fun things that we can take a look at. Let's go click here.
Periphery nodes. Yeah, periphery nodes. Oh yeah. I was telling my stream earlier about no, you want over here.
I can go this way so I can see both. You were telling him about what?
Oh, about our wild slash.
Oh,
About our wild slash that killed through an energy field and rest in peace.
So I'm going to pull up This Week in Legacy on Goldfish. We can take a look at some Legacy decks here. And we go.
Yeah.
So this is a Miracles list, but it's not at the same time. This is from a 167 player event in London, and this is a week ago now. This is a list that we've seen here, but it's been a little while. We just see it off and on.
I've seen it online a couple times. I also played against it in paper when I was in Santa Clara in one of my side events.
So this plays. The trick here is Rest in Peace, right?
Yeah.
Rest in Peace along with Helm of Obedience is just a win combo.
And then
But
with
then Energy Field as well is really kind of fun. You just nothing ever goes to the graveyard, and so Energy Field never leaves the battlefield, and so you just don't take damage. But yeah, it's a deck. This one I think topped this 167 person event.
Yeah, it is a very strange deck, but you have Supreme Verdicts. It's more of a do nothing control than Miracles actually. It plays more like a combo deck, right? Like most of your things are drawing things and countering things, and then so let's see, just a bunch of draw spells, Source of Plowshares, Council's Judgment.
Oh, here's this list that we were just gonna.
Okay.
So
All those different things, but then you just kind of have a Helm of Obedience to just kill people.
No, so that one plays Supreme Verdict instead.
Yeah, the only reason we can even call it like Miracles is because it actually does have Entreat the Angels in the deck, doesn't it? Didn't it play with one? Maybe it didn't.
I think so. So here's a more typical Miracles list to compare it to. This one. Answer your question first here. Yeah, it's just blue white control. We don't call that one Miracles. Sorry,
Yeah,
I was
it's just blue white
misreading
control.
it. So now we're looking at the Miracles list. So this is really similar to what Josh has been playing, or variations on it, with these 2 Counterbalance, 2 Search for Azcanthus.
Yeah.
And then you've got a kind of win choices, whether it's an Entreat the Angels or you're playing with Mentors, right? now I got Kyra over here yawning.
Shh. Don't tell.
So nothing amazing to talk about here. This is kind of your typical. It splashes red for Pyroblast. Some of them splash for Blood Moons. This one doesn't. This is the one that I think actually took down
The entire tournament.
So let me go back and find this other list that was on here. They have some interesting commentary on some of these. Just most of these are pretty stock lists, though. That's why there's nothing really amazing to talk about. There's a Turbo Depths list that is really similar to the one you guys have been playing on.
Yeah, it doesn't have Living Wish, which honestly ours shouldn't even really have a Living Wish.
There's a lands list which is really similar to one of the lists that we see here a lot, or the one that
they have a Heaven and Earth in the
Paul
sideboard.
used to play.
That's
Yeah,
kinda
Heaven and Earth, and they comment on that, talking about how, hey, that's a card that if you dredged, you still get some value out of it.
Yep.
But okay.
That's interesting. Another Miracles list. Wow, jeez.
This deck is kind of fun.
Gristle Storm.
So yeah, that's what they call this list. Gristle Storm.
Oh, it's a Shallow Grave deck.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is one of those decks that actually requires you. The reason why Legacy requires you to have your graveyard in order is because of the Shallow Grave card right here, right?
Yeah.
So it's a 2-mana instant, and it plays a lot like Goryo's Vengeance.
Yeah.
You get to bring back the top creature card in your graveyard, and it has haste, and then you exile it. So you can do a bunch of different ways of getting Grizzlebrand into the graveyard quickly. But then this deck also has Tendrils of Agony, right? So it plays Tutors and Lion's Eye Diamonds, much like a Storm deck does, and does some fun things. Yeah, Magus of the Will is really kind of fun in this deck as well, right? There's kind of a neat trick where you can... Where's Magus hiding? There's 2 of them in this deck. You can do a neat trick where you can, if you have an LED out, and you're able to Shallow Grave a Magus of the Will, you can use the mana from a Lion's Eye Diamond to activate your Magus that turn, right? And go off. Because normally it would be summoning sick.
This has got to be one of the cheapest, it's got to be one of the cheapest Legacy decks I've ever seen.
It's the Lion's Eye Diamonds. They're pricey.
Yeah, LEDs. Oh, I guess they're Grim Monoliths in the sideboard. Okay.
So this is something fun. You could do some fun things. Getting to play Magus of the Will and using it the turn you play it or the turn it comes out really feels like Yawgmoth's Will, right? Even though you have to jump through some hoops to do it, it's strong enough that you could pull this off. I think that there's enough things here that would be fun that you could and backup plan of beating down with a Grave Titan.
Yeah, I was gonna say
always a thing.
Yeah, I looked at the Entomb and I'm just like, Entomb, Gristlebrand, Surgical. Now how do we win? Yeah, there are two Grave Titan.
They comment that it's a little strange that there's no Scrubland for this Unburial Rites, but there's no fetch lands either. And so really you can still Unburial Rites off of Lotus Petal. It's not a completely dead card. Yeah. So
you have no cards in hand, you can just crack LED.
Yeah, that's still a thing.
Fine.
They kind of missed that line in the commentary, but yeah, that's something fun. There's a Jund list.
A Jund list.
It looks a lot like your list. Should we pull up Jund?
Sure.
All right. Let's see how much.
This is definitely different than mine.
All right. I like these visual views of looking at these lists instead of just looking at names on a page. And of course, I can send you guys the link to this article. It's not hard to find though. Put this right here.
Show and Storm is better.
Yeah, but sometimes you just want to do something silly and fun.
Yeah.
Right.
I actually like this list a lot.
So here is this Jund list. It took a top 16 in the tournament in Japan. This is coming from where'd it go? The Last Sun tournament.
In Japan.
Yeah, this took place right at the end of December. 189 people. And they link the top 8.
I'm actually a really big fan of this list so far. Like, I like that they didn't cut on any of the Liliana the Veils. They just added a Liliana the Hope. Liliana.
There we go.
The Last Hope. There's a Miri's Guile and a Sylvan Library. I think that's kind of odd.
Yeah.
Like my mind just says play two Sylvan Library before you play a Miri's Guile. But I guess I understand. Yep. 3 Dark Confidant and 2 Flare. Now, something interesting about this list is it's not playing with my favorite card.
Yeah, there's no 4 mana Cascade here.
There's no 4 mana Elf.
Yep.
Which is strictly incorrect. You should never play this list because it doesn't have.
If you're playing Confidants, then it makes sense to have your curve as low as possible.
Yeah, just ditch those and play Elves. Easy decision.
Otherwise, it's pretty similar.
Yeah.
Right? You've got some Fatal Pushes in here and some just 2 bolts instead. It's kind of a splitting those. Abraham
TV, what's up? Welcome in.
So there's also an Eldrazi and Taxes list, which plays a Wasteland Strangler, which is kind of weird.
It has an Angel of Sanctions?
Yeah, an Angel. Oh, we can pull it up. I'll show you guys this list.
I want to look at crazy list. This gives me an idea for me streaming.
It's kind of a weird. There's some weird things happening. Otherwise, it's pretty stock.
Okay.
All right.
Everything needs Mox Diamonds.
So, Wasteland Strangler. Where's the one up? Here it is. This is the one where if your opponent has something already in exile, you can move it from exile to their graveyard and give a creature -3/3.
It's called processing.
Right? But there's Angel of Sanctions, which exiles things. Yeah. And there's... What's the other card?
Oh, Bryce, don't give me ideas for the stream. Never mind.
There's another card in here that exiles things. Right?
Yeah, Brian, usually you're the one who shows up with some ridiculous build, not me.
Oh, Thought-Knot Seer is the other card, right? Yeah. That exiles things. But there's no Swift of Plowshares here. Which...
That is strange.
Right? It's because it's a 4 of Chalice deck, and so you don't want 1 mana spells.
Oh, the Containment Priest is in the sideboard, not the main. I like the Eldrazi Displacer Containment Priest.
Containment Priest. Yeah.
Little
Palace Jailer as well. So there's cards that
Palace Jailer does
interact with it, and it's just a 1 of in this list.
Angel of Sanctions also exiles.
But it's a recruitable card, right? Wasteland Strangler is. So
yes.
Maybe this is interesting.
Looks like we're close to time. Do we want to check and see if anything has been updated? Nope.
So there's some curiosities there
Yeah.
for some legacying instead of me just showing you the same altars I did last week.
I actually played. It was kind of funny because Paul brought up this this artifact deck
Mhm.
that it plays with Arcbound Ravager, and it plays with a bunch of other little kind of affinity-esque cards, but it's a chalice deck. You like don't touch one,
Yeah.
and I want to say, didn't your cousin play
He played,
something like
he
that?
played it, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
An Infinity deck with Chalice. Yep.
Yeah, it's the we played against it today in one of my leagues, and they had Vault Scourge in it. I think the one that I'm going to try, it doesn't have Vault Scourge. It's just
Oh, we are. Or are these guys just back for fun?
I don't know.
Robert versus Corey. Yeah. We're just getting started here.
Yeah, we are.
All right. I'll pass that off to you.
Ooh, Kyra's turn.
All right. Go ahead and transition, and we'll just update the names as we go here.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
These guys are just getting started.
This is Corey.
I believe so.
All right.
Corey versus Robert. There goes the neighborhood. Oh, because Captain QC is here. Hi, Captain QC.
What's up, boys? Hi, Bryce.
Yeah. Just making sure.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
All right, and Robert's on, I think, Esper Blade. I guess I called it 4-color Blade last time. But I'm pretty sure it's just the splash of green for Death Rights.
Yeah.
It's an Esper deck. Kind of like how sometimes Grixis will have like a trop to get green.
All right, so this is the very beginning of round 3. These guys are just starting out here. Corey was in here round 1.
Mm-hmm.
He had a bye, and so he
Wanted to
joined
hang
us.
out.
So we're going to show his deck doing some stuff. Make sure you call Miracles Blue-White Control.
Oh, it'd make Minifer so mad. It'd make Minifer way mad. I don't know if Minifer would come back if I did that.
You just called it Miracles. I don't know. Yeah, Captain QC just called it Miracles.
Yeah, he did.
So the list that I showed, that is the Rest in Peace main deck, that's a blue-white controlled list, right?
Yeah.
It feels like I'm going to do absolutely nothing and then win and stop you from doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you're playing with Terminus and Portent, it feels kind of like Miracles.
No, I actually had Minifer like he thanked me for starting to call it Miracles because I kept calling it Blue Light Control. Actually, like went out of his way to thank me. Like, Kyra, thank you for calling it Miracles. I'm like, okay, that shouldn't be a big deal, but I guess it can be. I couldn't be that rude to somebody.
Let's update the timer.
Oh, the timer. The timer.
Sorry, we got doing a little too much. There we go. There's our timer.
He'll be mad at you. No, he'll be mad at me. You don't know.
True name is going to get forced. Forced is going to get
back.
forced. Pitching force. Lots of forces going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows for every force there's an equal and opposite force. As long as you have a force.
But one of the forces resolved and the other force didn't.
Because he had more forces, see?
Oh.
What if Brian ordered you to do it?
If Brian ordered me to do it, then I'd have to. He is my boss.
I'm going to keep calling it. Is that how it works?
Yes.
I order you to do this. Okay. I'm going to keep calling it blue-white control.
Okay, we're going to call it Blue White Control then. Brian said, yep. What Captain QC said.
Yep, it's blue-white control.
All right, I'll blame you guys.
Until they unban top in Miracles, or in Legacy.
Yep. That will never happen.
So it's blue-white control from here on out.
You know what must be done.
So I'm going to guess that the player that has the Deathrite Shaman and the True Name Nemesis out is going to win.
I think they have a high chance to. But Corey's a pretty good player. I would expect I would expect him to find something crazy. I don't know if he has a Toxic Deluge in the main or not. Yeah, we did see him lose to a Blade deck with True Name Nemesis on Friday. He really struggled with True Names. They're just hard to kill. Oh, and look, speak of the devil. Or I mean of the merfolk. Sorry, wrong creature type.
I could see them printing a worse top. But I don't know. Maybe they won't, just because of the time that it took to resolve and how many interactions.
Yeah.
But I could see there being a card that, like Susang, right? That's a worse top. Or better Susang.
Just use Scroll Rack.
Yeah, just use that. What devils are played in Legacy?
I don't know. I said speak of the devil, and then I was like the merfolk. Wrong creature type.
There's the red guy that's in the blue red devil lists. He's a devil. No, he's a horror.
Bedlam Reveler?
Yeah,
I don't think he's
a horror. Yeah. He interacts really nicely with Thing in the Ice because it bounces all non-horror.
Sin Prodder?
Ooh,
I think Sin Prodder does see play in some of the red Stumpy decks. As it turns out, like a turn
sees
1 or
play
2.
for a moment or two and then it dies.
Yeah. Exactly.
Gets off the bench. Yeah, Hellrider.
Oh, Hellrider. There you go.
Why are we thinking of devils? It's the weirdest thing to be discussing.
Well, sorry. It was my fault. I didn't mean to start this conversation.
It's a devil horror, yeah.
Oh, it is devil.
It's not enough to just be a devil. You also get to be a horror as well. Those things kind of go hand in hand.
Oh, Brian, what was the German name? The German name. I know it's a Teufelsschrecken. Chaos Schwegler. Schwelger. Chaos Schwelger. That's what it is. Bedlam Reveler in German. Chaos Schwelger. It's a Teufelsschrecken. That's its creature type.
Okay.
Vexing Devil.
We need a MTG bot for German translations. So Diabolic Edict takes out one of the true names because it's false. Or now it's false.
While we were in Santa Clara, it was just late one night, and Brian and I were talking, and I don't know, we just got laughing about the German Bedlam Reveler. I couldn't stop laughing. It was bad.
Was it Vexing Devil or Bedlam?
It was Bedlam Reveler.
I got nothing. I wasn't there.
It's a Chaos Schwelger. Jeez, just leave it be.
So Snapcaster Mage would be awesome. If Corey had another one.
Chaos Schwelger. Mm-hmm. That is the name of the card. Big Red Joe found it.
He's just typing what you said. He didn't actually look at it.
There's no way he would have spelled it. Okay, sure.
Hey, it's a Snapcaster Mage.
You've earned yourself a found it emote.
I've got an Edict.
Yep.
Ooh.
All right, an Edict is the way that Corey's found to deal with these True Name Nemesis, and now he's definitely in the driver's seat.
No more Nemesis.
No more Nemesis. See, Brian found it.
He said true or false, and Corey was like, false.
Yeah, Corey, he actually wouldn't mind if the Snapcaster died. He's looking at a Colgan's command in hand.
Please kill my Snapcaster. I want it back.
Yep, he sure does.
I think you still play it. Make him discard his one card, kill his Deathrite, make him trip plane off the top. I think you just run. Oh no, it's gonna do something else.
You got a Jace? Jace. Big Rich Joe says, you've seen me type, and you think I spelled that on my own?
No. He was talking German earlier, wasn't he? Von die something. One D. One die. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I bet it was exactly that.
Pretty much.
Yeah. All right, Jace is going to bounce the death right back to hand.
So, as I was saying earlier, the player that had the 2 true name nemesis obviously was going to lose this game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly how you said it.
Because the person that has Culligan's Command and Jace always was advantaged. It's hard to get out from 2 true name nemesis before sideboard, right? You're probably playing 1 Edict. This is game 1. And so hitting the Edict, finding the Snapcaster Mage, pretty lucky, pretty fortunate.
All right, incoming batter skull.
He likes making pancakes and just putting all of that batter right on his head.
Right on his head.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Jeez, you know Robert so well.
Mm-hmm. Kind of a weird thing to know about somebody, but
Yep, really, really weird.
Yep.
Look at these 2 low skill scrubs. Interesting.
Where?
I can't find any low skill scrubs.
Oh.
Scrubs.
I don't see any scrub lines anywhere. Is there a scrub line over there?
No,
Not a scrub line?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Plenty of other lands. All right, a brainstorm from Jace.
Now, yeah. I don't know what you do here.
He actually does have a lot to consider. He has Culligan's Command, and he was thinking, okay, maybe if I can wait, I can get the Snapcaster to die, I can get the value that way. But
Now you can just kill the Batterskull, right? Wait for it to get played.
Yeah.
Take out Batterskull plus Deathrite, something like that. Sounds good. Anyone not playing a convoluted combo is a low skill scrub. Oh, I'm not sure that Food Chain is very convoluted. It's kind of simplistic, actually.
yeah, so Thoughtseize is going to get rid of Batterskull.
You put out an enchantment that says, do this thing. Play with the cards that allow you to do this thing. And then you do the thing. Right?
Yeah.
It's not very convoluted.
Now we'll see Culligan's Command. This is going to deal 2 damage to Deathrite Shaman and have Robert discard his last card in hand, which was a Flooded Strand. Yeah, both of them are brewers, and yet here they are playing pretty standardized decks.
Oh, you were talking about Bomberman. That's a little bit more convoluted.
He's always talking about Bomberman.
Yeah. Except when he's talking about Food Chain.
Food Ballista, 10 points to Gryffindor, whatever you want to call it.
Food Chain.
Food Chain?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you want to call it
the
Food
deck
Chain?
name? That's what I call it.
Oh, is that what you want to call it?
Yeah.
That's somewhat strange, but alright, whatever.
All right. Here we go. Person with Jace is advantaged. Advantage bar to Corey. But Corey's on this side. I can't do that.
Oh, thank goodness we do not have an advantage bar.
What's convoluted about beating down a Trinket Mage? Exactly.
It's true. Brian did kill somebody with 3 Trinket Mage. HG Butte, thank you for the follow.
Butte? I like it. Or Butte.
No, Butte. I decided.
Made my decision. Card number...
There's no going back now.
Abrupt.
Yep. Abruptly Decayed.
That's kind of odd. Using an Abrupt Decay there. It protects Jace from the one hit.
A damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is actually a pretty strange place to put that. Batterskull's already dead, right?
Yep.
It's already in graveyard, I should say. Alright, a plus, he's going to choose to put that card on the bottom of Robert's deck. And we're going to see an attack from Snapcaster.
Jace ticks up to Upside Down 6.
Mm-hmm. And this is going to put Robert to 12 life.
Yeah, I think it was correct as well, especially as long as he has other answers in hand. But he could not attack and save his Abrupt Decay as well. That would have been alright as well.
Alright, here's a ponder. I see a land. I see a Thoughtseize. Couldn't quite see the third card there, but I think a Thoughtseize is something that would look fine from this point. He is at 6 life, so he needs to be cautious about his life total. But looks like the other 2 cards weren't quite as good as he would like them to be. So he's just going to give it a shuffle.
What happened to you today against playing against Burn? Didn't you get hit by like multiple fire blasts in one turn?
They went double fire blast you, put you to 1 past the turn with the sulfuric vortex trigger on the stack. I drained them and bolted them to kill them.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I was like, oh, you're dead. And I was like, oh, wait a minute.
It was
you
pretty
still
cool.
Get interaction.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I was excited to see that.
Jay sticks up to 92. 94.
And their MTG bot is telling us that Brian has just started playing some Magic.
That's fabulous. He's had enough of this live legacy.
No, he's probably doing both.
We were probably talking about Food Chain and Bomberman so much that he's like, I gotta get my fix.
That's not the account that he's on.
Oh.
He's on the account that I thought that nothing was left. That means he's probably playing some limited. All right, Corey's going to take this one.
No, Jace took it. Corey was just there.
Oh, not you? Joe Demestrio? Okay. Should probably get that disconnected from our MTG bot. What do you think?
we gotta know what somebody else is doing.
All right, Corey's going to take game 1. Oh, he's recording for Houston. Cool.
What's happening in our other match?
That is a good question. Let's take a look.
Okay, so this is Max versus John.
Max on mono black.
Monobi versus
John on Death Shadow.
Death Shadowing.
Sultai Death Shadow. This is quite the matchup. These guys are both 2-0 going into round 3, and these are the decks that they see. Who was it that just barely called people scrubs and then asked them to build their own decks? Well, here are some custom built decks that are doing well.
One of these decks is playing an agent that doesn't have any shards.
Yep, no shards.
And a creature that's only a shadow.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even there. And the other one, Max was given the creature as a gift. It's hard to keep up with all of this.
What a time to be alive, Big Ridjo says.
Right here. This is magic. He copied your list. This is not parfait. You were wrong.
Wow, Captain QC, do you even know what parfait looks like? Clearly he doesn't.
No.
That's why it's called the present. Touche.
Nope. That's not why it's called that. Pretty sure.
He's gonna link us his parfait
Look,
list.
I have a list.
Or is this the mono black list? No, not quite. You have bayous in your list. He doesn't have bayous. He's playing straight swamps.
And he's playing obliterators. Forests. This is an obliterator deck. It wants to obliterate things.
Yeah. I mean, it's close. There are definitely similarities.
They're both mono black.
They are.
If that's what makes it close, then they're exactly the same.
Yep. Actual same list.
You copied it. Obliterator does suck, except when it doesn't.
Yeah, there's always the exception.
But you're right. I think that the problem with Obliterator is that the deck is really good already against the decks, the other decks that Obliterator is good against. So it's just kind of a win more. And then the types of decks that this deck is bad for, Obliterator is horrible. It just doesn't do anything at all. So I kind of agree with you. But when it works, you feel good, and your opponent feels bad. And isn't that what Magic's all about?
That's literally all it's about.
It seems like a Captain QC type of thing to do.
It does. Nitro Frog Boy, dude, I'm ready to party. Where are we partying? When's this happening?
Party? What? Oh, this is a Berserk on a Death Shadow. He's at 2 life So the Death Shadow was an 11/11. It just got plus 11 and trample.
I think that's game. Unless there's removal in Max's hand. Yeah, that'll do it.
Bang! That was berserk.
That was.
If I had to describe that in one word, it would be the name of the card you just played. Yeah, that's similarly like okay, I'm gonna play with Death Shadow. Okay, I'm gonna play with Berserk. If the stars align, it's gonna be fun. Otherwise, it's gonna be worthless.
Oh, the party's here. Oh, nice.
So we have to party hard.
I like to feel included.
We get to include everyone else.
Unimpressed. But Gridgel's like, yep. He said it, not me.
Yep.
All right.
So we're in the shuffle.
Yeah.
Shuffle, mulligan, cut. Oh, here we get to cut. Here we go. Don't you like how one of these playmats is like really exciting and things are happening, and the other one's just like a blue flame?
Yeah, I don't really get it.
It's a skull.
Oh, it's a skull.
It's catching on. No, it's just you and Brian. It's stopped being caught on.
I'm actually pretty darn sure that's gonna catch on.
Every Tuesday, I'm waiting like round 3. Nope, not impressed yet. Nope. Control V.
Control V. Button press. Couldn't happen any other way.
You should be playing with Hellrider.
There you go.
Right? In his deck, because that mat.
Agreed. This is a hashtag Alter Boys.
Not that one.
This is pretty unfortunate for Robert.
Make that go away. All right.
So down to 5 Robert Mulligans.
What? Somebody said that once? Do not burn a candle at both ends as it leads to life as a hairdresser?
Who said that?
Where'd that come from?
That was quote 16 of 19. When did that happen, and why wasn't I there? Or was I? I don't remember that quote at all. Oh, quote 18. Yeah. Bryce is like a poor man's Kyre. It does the job, but with a few bumps on the way.
I don't think I was even here for that
You
one.
weren't. Captain QC said it.
You guys are talking about me when I'm not even here.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
As long as the job gets done.
Boboros, I've seen a couple different versions of Legacy Death Shadow. I have seen 3-color versions with only shocks. I've also seen two color versions with that are just like black blue, and they'll run like 2 Watery Grave, 2 Underground Sea.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely.
There's a pro that took it and legacied it, right? And that's what he did with it. Since then, I haven't seen it really be refined. I think people kind of went away from Death Shadow.
I'm sure that there's a good build out there for it. I bet you anything that the deck is viable. I think that there are other decks.
Exactly. So I think it's a deck that if you play Modern a lot and you play Death Shadow a lot and you know it intimately, you could then go and play Legacy with a deck like it and do pretty well. That doesn't mean it's tier 1 deck. It just means you know the list really well.
Looks like Brian's getting rid of some quotes. I have known to dark depths. Oh, that's funny.
I have been known to dark the depths. I think is the
dark the depths.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dark the depths. I have known to dark the depths. White and majestic, and the other's like poop. That's one way to say it. Yeah, just one so far. Well, let people communicate in the chat too, Brian.
when it gets quiet. I just spam quotes. Ah,
Don't get me wrong, there are some good ones.
things that were said. Yep, that's kind of how I imagine Captain QC every night. Every night he goes to play Magic, and hey, do you have this obscure card that nobody's really thought of playing in Legacy? Oh no, we're out of those strangely. Ah, my night is ruined. Now I have to play this other bad deck, or a good deck poorly instead of a bad deck greatly. Yes, yeah, that's what I imagine. It's my excuse too. I always have to play good decks poorly. Yeah, Chandelar. That's what we should do. We should do a Chandelar stream. That's a good idea.
That would be insane. Quote 18 is a good one. I'm not impressed by any of our followers.
We might actually have to do that, Big Red Joe. We might have to look at getting the emulator for it.
That'd be fun.
I remember enjoying it. And then,
I don't think I've ever played it. So,
Oh, yeah?
so like doing that for one of my streams would be
as a first time run through, that would be actually kind of fun to see, as opposed to somebody who's played it several times and knows how to break it.
When are you gonna come stream with me during the days? Huh? What the heck? You just like disappeared from our day streams. The second Brian left, you're like, I'm not streaming with Kyre.
when you do it.
I can do it earlier if you want to stream with me.
Well,
Jeez. Can you believe this guy?
the blue team knows what's up because of quote 18. Really? What we need is more followers. So if you guys are in here and you haven't followed, give us a follow, because this guy here, Kyre, streams Magic Online. He's been playing a bunch of different decks. We've seen some Eldrazi post, and we saw Jund today.
Jund and Maverick today.
And Maverick. There's been a
Red Delver recently. Did some Nyx Fit recently.
Yeah, I know where to find Chandelar. I can get it.
Lots and lots of legacy from my streams.
Here I am streaming live. I'm trying to get out of it. What's happening in this game? We're only on round 3. This isn't round 4. We are talking about some other computer game that's 15 years old.
I mean, there's not a whole lot to say. I mean, it's definitely getting later because we're getting more distracted. But it looks like a Sword of Fire and Ice was just tutored up off of this Stoneforge Mystic, and Robert, it was on a Multi 5, so we've just seen him Thoughtseize away. Thoughtseize, I believe.
Try some Cheerios.
I have not considered Cheerios. Bute. Send me a link in the chat, or whisper it to me. In fact, whisper it to this channel, and then I'll think about it. All legacy here, though, just legacy. We don't do any other things as of yet.
And Brian, what's your excuse?
Yeah,
What's
Ryan.
your excuse for not streaming?
Yeah,
Where have you been? Come on.
he's like owning a business and like having a family to care for or something. I don't know. That's all I got. You're on a phone. Okay. If it's too much of a hassle, then no worries. But just when you get time, just send it to this channel, and I'll see it. I'll see what we have for it. It'd be kind of fun. Well, I mean, Leovold is a pretty good card when your opponent's on a mulligan.
Yeah.
Sounds like some weak excuse. Yeah,
Being out of the country for multiple weeks, that's also a weak excuse.
I agree.
Because he's been out for multiple weeks.
What a jerk.
So it's weak. You
Really?
decided to not?
Your laptop died? Alright, we're cheating in the Fire and Ice here. It looks like we're going to see a Corgan's Command. This is going to deal 2 damage to Stoneforge Mystic and destroy an artifact. So this is a kind of a 1-for-1 in a way.
It's a board wipe, is what it is.
That too.
It's a 1 for all.
1 for all.
Is Corey playing Induced Amnesia?
No, he has not. Did you see that?
Did
you see what my opponent did to me today?
I saw it, but I have forgotten it.
So they cast Leovold, played Induced Amnesia. My hand was like land, Bloodbraid. What was the other card? Like Tarmogoyf or something like that? My hand was like insanely powerful. Got rid of my hand, and then I draw 4 cards, so I just draw 1.
Yeah.
And it was like a fetch land.
Mm-hmm.
And then they like followed up with the Jace, and I just died.
Yeah. I heard you say, I gotta see a whole new hand. Oh, no, I don't.
No, I don't. Yeah, it was nasty. It was absolutely gross. Okay. Gideon, ally of Zendikar. This is a step in the right direction for Robert. There was a pun that I missed?
Even better.
What the heck?
It's alright.
Man, was I that focused? Dang it. How am I supposed to give Bryce credit for his good puns when I can't even hear them? Alright. Activate the 0 ability, get a 2/2 Knight ally token. Man, now I'm curious as to all get out. Just kidding, I don't even want to know.
Nope.
I don't even want to know. I'm pun impressed. Alright. Fatal Push is going to take out the token. Looks like we're going to see an attack from Baleful Strix and Leovold to take out Gideon ally of Zendikar. Oh, but then forgot it. Yeah. Good point. Yeah, that was pretty good. I missed that completely. Who was it? Oh man, we were talking about Induced Amnesia, and then I was like, yeah, I said this card's gonna keep me up at night.
Mm-hmm. But that would be Induced Insomnia.
Yeah, but
that's a different
card.
card.
Like, no, that's Induced Insomnia. That's a different card. And I was like, oh, jeez. Here we go. Thanks, chat.
I think there is an Insomnia card, isn't there?
Maybe.
From like the dark.
There's a Narcolepsy card. I did. Whispered us a list. Awesome. After the stream, I'll take a look at it and maybe we'll consider playing it one of these days. It kind of depends what we have in our collection too.
I don't know what I'm thinking of. I
know Mox Diamonds are on our like top priority list at the moment to get.
2-buy.
Yeah. Am I supposed to play Tezzeret decks without those?
Have you gone through and sold all of the different chest wins?
A lot of them. All of them, yeah. I did have another 5/0 and like a 4/1 and a couple 3/2s, so we should have some more to sell. Yeah. All right, Ponder.
You haven't put together the Tez list yet for online yet, right?
No, I haven't put together a Tez list. I'm open to like any list though. If you feel like that there's one that is quite good, MG Flory, Floral or Flory, I don't know.
So he goes down to what?
Flory.
5 life here. Feels a little inevitable.
Yeah, just whisper us the list. MG Flory.
In fact, I think he can just attack with Leovold and Strix. Robert would have to double block, or he just dies, right?
Yeah. No, I wouldn't want to play it Affinity. I'd want to play it the grindy way.
Play with the Ensnaring Bridge.
Yep, Ensnaring Bridges, and probably the Thopter Foundry, like we saw in round 1, the deck that David's playing tonight.
So right there, I kind of like after the block was declared, I kind of like Deathrite Shamaning twice first before the Leovold dies. That way, if Robert has something like a Brainstorm or something, it's still a fairly dead card. It looks like it's... Oh, maybe it will matter here. Yeah, exactly. Here's exactly what I was talking about. So you see what the line was.
Oh, you're just going to pack it up.
He doesn't see it find a card anyway, but it would have been just a little cleaner, I think, if Corey had activated those Deathrite Shamans
Can we watch David's deck again by chance? Yeah, I'll see what I can do to get his deck on a feature match for the last round of the tournament. We also have a Knicks Fit deck in the room that I wouldn't mind getting on there. Agreed. We have a couple people who want to see some Tezzerator.
I can go out and ask him.
What's Knicks Fit? Now that's a question that I can answer. Nothing's going on.
Finish up with round 3.
We're done. Well, you want to know what Knicks Fit is? Then let's start on Knicks Fit.
It's like you like the deck or something.
Almost. Knicks Fit is amazing. That's what it is. Should I just pull it up on MTGO
Sure.
or should I?
Or you can pull up your list. Either way. Knicks Fit is a Nick Fit deck, right? Where you're playing Veteran Explorer and Cabal Therapy. That's kind of what defines a Nick Fit deck now in Legacy. It's usually in the Abzan colors. And then this list, instead of playing Grave Titan or some other top-end beater, you're playing Academy Rectors, which let you sacrifice them off of something like a Cabal Therapy or other things, and lets you go get these massive, huge new printed enchantments, which are really, really strong in Legacy.
Like Overwhelming Splendor and Cruel Reality and Dubscape. And
so, I mean, like, Overwhelming Splendor is a card that you maybe have seen played in Standard or Cube or Draft.
I don't even know if you've seen it there.
Right? It's really expensive, but it's really strong, right?
All right,
but if you drop it in Legacy and your opponent isn't ready for it, it does really fun things.
So take me a moment.
So this is the current build, our current build.
Yeah.
Some other people have been streaming the list. We've seen Goldfish stream it and Caleb stream this, and they've been streaming the older list that Kyr 5-0'd with.
Yeah, I think that this list is much better than the one that I 5-0'd with, which is funny because I haven't been able to run it back.
He had a very different sideboard. Well, a pretty different sideboard and some other things here. So this is your deck.
Yeah.
Either way.
All right. So pretty much the point is to you want to have sack outlets for Veteran Explorer and an Academy Rector, and then you try to get an Evolutionary Leap or a Garrick into play and just loop from creature to creature to creature.
Hold it on leap just a little.
Yeah, Evolutionary Leap is like the key card of the deck.
It does the engine, right?
It's the engine. Yeah, you don't actually need it to win or anything, but like once you get it going, it's very hard to lose. So,
and then the other big change is
Living Wishes. We did not originally have Living Wishes. So this gives us access to an Academy Rector in the board, which is really good because if this gets Surgical Extracted or exiled in some way, then at least we have one more Rector to go get our big enchantments, and then we also have like a Phyrexian Revoker to get off of it. Phyrexian Tower being in the board is also really important. This way we can actually Living Wish for a way to sacrifice Veteran Explorer or Academy Rector. And then, of course, Karakas against like Meryl Age decks, and Cavern of Souls to make sure that since these are both humans, it's sometimes when you're playing against heavy counter magic decks, you can just Living Wish. They're kind of they're non-threatened by the Living Wish almost always, and you go get Cavern of Souls, play it, and just resolve a Rector, and then you can like flashback a Therapy. Once you get like against control variants, you get Dubscape first.
Yeah, so go through each one of those.
Okay, so there are four enchantments that you want to get off of Academy Rector. It's happened once or twice that I've wanted Pernicious Deed, but typically you either want Dovescape or you want Overwhelming Splendor. Now, Overwhelming Splendor is pretty much a one-sided humility that also makes it so your opponents can't activate anything except for mana abilities and loyalty abilities, which it is kind of unfortunate that this doesn't shut off Planeswalkers, but whatever.
That's just greedy.
Ugh.
What's crazy is it shuts off fetch lands.
Yes, if it shuts off fetches, if it shuts off Wasteland, and like oh man, it's so funny.
So if your opponent doesn't fetch in response to the Academy Rector trigger.
Mhm.
So Academy Rector, it has a trigger, right? When it dies, you may exile it, which is a trigger.
Mhm.
It can be exiled in response to that trigger, but if they don't fetch in response to that trigger, then they can no longer use their fetch.
Yeah. So yeah, you're gonna get Dovescape or you're gonna get Overwhelming Splendor, and then both of those team up with Curse of Deathhold. So pretty much, when you have Dovescape and Curse of Deathhold, you cast a bunch of things, you get a bunch of birds, and your opponent doesn't.
Mhm.
And then same thing with Overwhelming Splendor. It makes all of their things 1/1s, and then you give them all -1/-1.
Yep.
So they can't get a creature onto the board that unless it has like +1/+1 counters, which isn't very common. And then last but not least, sometimes you'll go get a Cruel Reality, and they actually just can't beat this card. In fact, a lot of decks can't beat this
Yeah.
card.
Sometimes
Just
this is
period.
all you need. Sometimes getting two of the lock pieces creates a lock, right? Other times your clock is such that this just wins. They have one thing on the board or no things on the board, and Cruel Reality just gets there.
Yeah, there are absolutely games where like turn 3, turn 4, I can sacrifice a Academy Rector and go get a Cruel Reality. If they have like one Planeswalker or one creature on the board, then it just starts from there. They have to sacrifice before they start losing life. So even if they're not losing life, you're still keeping them from doing anything. Meanwhile, you kind of get to play the game, and they have to play this weird game around Cruel Reality.
And there's some other fun things going on as well. Lingering Souls is really nice in this deck, and it's just a good card in Legacy anyway.
Yes.
But it's not a creature, so when you Evolutionary Leap, you don't hit it.
Yep.
And it creates tokens that you can sacrifice for either Garruk or Evolutionary Leap or Intent to kind of make this get activated. And then there's some of the other cuter things. Collective Brutality is a sack outlet if you need it to be, which comes up.
You can also discard your Cabal Therapy, discard your Lingering Souls, whatever, There's a lot of good use out of Collective Brutality.
There's a 1 of Dryad Arbor in here, and if you're ever playing this list, you find that you often want to fetch it early so that you don't leap into it.
Yeah.
But it's actually a key card in the deck. It's often what makes the deck function.
Yeah, once you have an Evolutionary Leap and you can't seem to find a Veteran Explorer or an Academy Rector, all you need is a fetch to go get Dryad Arbor, and then the chain just starts there. So the Dryad Arbor is actually like really, really important in the list, even though it can be obnoxious. I feel like it's that way in just about every list that gets played in, though.
Yeah. And then there's the 3 Green Sun Zeniths. Those are there primarily and only for Veteran Explorers.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do ramp you, right? On turn 1, you go Zenith for 0 for Arbor, so that you can quickly put out a Rector or something.
That's definitely not, like, it's very, very rare that I Zenith for Arbor on 1.
Yeah.
Like, I have done it, but not something I usually
you're
do.
saving it for turn 2 to go get it.
Another great thing about this deck is it's so wasteland proof. You have 8 basics in this deck, and even if people do try to like waste you out, you have Veteran Explorer. It's just it's fantastic. This deck is a blast.
I feel like this is a fairly tuned list as well. I think we've tried out quite a variety of different one-ofs, whether it's a Vindicate or some other combination of maybe 2 Garruks or less leaps or Zeniths out, or different combinations of the big enchantments. And Sandworm Convergence is a card that maybe, depending on your meta, is something you want, but I think that's wrong.
It's Tony. That's like the problem though. Is the second you add Deathrite Shaman, then you start hitting it off a leap, and you don't want to do that.
Yep.
And not only that, but like the card, I don't know. I'm not saying it would be bad in the list, but like the whole engine of the deck is Evolutionary Leap. You don't really want that to get in the way.
It makes sense in a normal Nick Fit deck.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense here.
No. I mean, this is a Nick Fit deck just by definition, because you're playing Cabal Therapy and you're playing Veteran Explorer. Outside of that, you're really it's kind of its own variant, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Vasira Seer, no, you have plenty of sack outlets. Venom carries. You have 4 Cabal Therapies. You can kill your own guy with Collective Brutality pretty easily. Diabolic Intent is a sack outlet. It's a part of its cost. Not only that, but we have 3 Evolutionary Leaps. Living Wish can go get you Phyrexian Tower,
which is really the best sack outlet.
And then Pernicious Deed can kill your things. Not to mention Garruk is also a sack outlet and can deal 3 damage to your guy. This deck has no shortage of sack outlets, and it has 1 Phyrexian Tower main. So
And it's really amazing when you draw a tower and you already have an explorer out, how much mana suddenly you have.
Yeah.
Because the lands come into play untapped off
Yes.
of explorer, right? And you're sacking for mana as well. Phyrexian Tower is really nice in that it's a sack outlet that can't be responded to as well.
This is easily the best Cabal Therapy deck I have ever played. Like, I've seen a lot of people with like Young Pyromancer decks. This trumps that so hard. When you can Cabal Therapy and like get out the thing that you know interacts with your Academy Rector, and then play Academy Rector and flash it back on like on turn 3 or 4, it is just incredible.
When you're getting a lot of value out of the sack outlet itself.
Yeah, that's been the biggest thing that I've had a problem with, It's Tony. That is like the issue with the deck. What are its worst matchups? I've had issues with Miracles. Storm is unbeatable. I cannot beat Storm with this deck. I've done it a couple times, and I feel like the only reason it even happened is because my opponent's deck decided not to show up.
Yeah, Storm, you have to get out Dovescape early, faster than
way
they go
fast,
off, and they just go off faster.
I have beaten Storm just because I drew enough Cabal Therapies that they just couldn't do anything. That definitely has happened, and not to mention Leyline interacts well, and I can always go get Phyrexian Revoker and put that on LED. There are some good ways to beat it, but it's not great. Miracles is not like completely dead, but it's just hard to beat Jace. This deck has a hard time with Jace. Outside of Jace, it has a pretty good matchup with any deck.
Which is why we've tried at one point Leyline of Sanctities, 4 of in the side for Storm. And I think this is better. This Living Wish package is better.
Yeah.
Because you can bring in Sanctity against Storm, they still beat you. They just bounce it.
This is what I like about the Phyrexian Revoker in the sideboard too. It can come in, name Jace. I mean, they can usually kill it, but nah.
I really like where this list is at, and it's a really fun deck to play.
It's way fun.
It's really enjoyable to have kind of a combo engine, but it doesn't feel like a combo deck.
Mm-mm.
And you get to put out tons of land, and then you get to play really big enchantments that really affect the game, and it's just fun magic. Your opponent still feels like they have a chance. They still get to interact and do things.
The best feeling in the world though is once you Overwhelming Splendor them, which is kind of the go-to enchantment that you want to put on them. Mm-hmm. It's really fun to watch them try to Wasteland or crack their fetch after. Wasteland's my favorite because usually when you click on Wasteland, it comes up with 2 options, sacrifice or add mana. Well, once you play Overwhelming Splendor, there is only one option because you can no longer sacrifice to do it. So they'll try to Wasteland, and it'll just tap, and then you see them untap it, and then they try it again, and they like tap it, and it just taps. Like they're trying to Wasteland me, but the Wasteland just keeps untapping. They'll do it like 2 or 3 times before they realize what it does, and usually they'll concede on the spot. It's really funny. It's great.
We've tried the list with a couple more. Pernicious Deed. We've played with 3 souls. We've kind of tweaked with all the different numbers.
Yeah.
I really like where it's at here.
This is very close to what I imagine it will be once I feel like I'm done with it.
How many times have you beaten Show and Tell by dropping? It's happened.
Actually, Island Delver, I don't think I've ever beaten Show and Tell by dropping an enchantment.
Oh,
but
no?
I have every time. I think my win ratio is like ridiculously high because they'll Show and Tell, and I'll put in Academy Rector, and then it comes back to my turn, and I'll just flash back a Cabal Therapy or like Collective Brutality it or Garrick it or whatever, and I'll just kill it with something, and then I go get Overwhelming Splendor, and they can't win. It is so much fun. I actually have a couple clips that I have saved online of me beating that deck. It is just fantastic.
Do you want to play this at the next big Legacy event? So in Seattle, is this the deck you'd be taking?
No, I'm not taking Nyx Fit. I took Nyx Fit to Santa Clara. It didn't go as well as I would have liked. I went 2-1 in all my side events, and I couldn't. I mean, my whole team didn't do well in Santa Clara, but I was a big part of that as well. So I don't think I would take it to another big event. Maybe I would. The deck is fantastic. It's just people know it well enough now that I probably wouldn't. The surprise factor is like a large factor of why it was good. But no, I would consider taking Jund. I love Jund. Still a Jund believer, absolutely.
So we should be pretty close. Time has already been called. We've got one more round of Legacy, and we want to show which deck do people want to see?
They want to see more Tez. Tezzeret.
We didn't actually get to see it kind of do its thing, did it?
No, we didn't. I let them know to put David on, and I got an okay. So hopefully that's a good sign. But yeah, if you haven't seen the Nixfit deck and haven't considered that, it's fun. I recommend it, especially if you're just playing online, or if you just play at your LGS, and they support Legacy.
And Kyra will play that deck occasionally online.
Yeah, I'll stream it.
You guys can check it out that way. If it's something you haven't seen, you wanted to really request it, that'd be possible.
So we have John and Corey. And then on our backup matchup, we've got David and Terry.
Yeah, and there's videos on past streams. There's a few on Twitch, and then all of them are on YouTube, right? So
yeah, all of them are on YouTube.
Find one there.
Lots of Knicks fit. Yeah, it's fantastic.
And you usually 3-2 or better with that.
Usually I can go 3-2 or better with Knicks fit. I want to say the last 2 times I've tried to play it, I've gone 2-3, or I've just kind of done terrible and 0-2'd and dropped or whatever. I don't know. I've had a rough go with it the last couple leagues that I've tried to do, but beforehand I was doing really, really well with it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not drawing as well.
Or just Storm.
Yeah, that too. Alright, so we've got John on his Death Shadow deck. Yeah, or I just find Storm all over the place. For some reason I can't seem to get it to not see Storm in any of my... I see Storm at least once to twice a week. It is so bad. And Nick's Fit just can't beat it. Alright.
Can we interview Max on the 4-0 list if he 4-0s with it?
I think Max lost to Death Shadow. Max lost to Death Shadow. In fact, I do know that. Okay. This is Terry. What was he on? 4-color?
Mm-hmm.
Lots of 4-color control. Man.
Nope. Ted's Kerr. It's round 4.
Well, that one?
Sure.
Yeah?
The Terminator.
Yes? You gonna watch this?
Sure.
Alright, let me update.
They want to see the Tez.
They want to see the Tez? Let's show the people the Tez.
The time is... Can't we just change that to 12-hour time? It's so hard.
I know.
Nope. No, close. 23.
There we go.
And then click off. Oh, no, it just does it. Cool.
Okay, let's get some Tezzeret here. And then on our backup match, which is actually just the finals, we have 4-color versus Death Shadow, which has also got to be an interesting match.
You guys asked for this. It's not our fault, Big Red Joe. It's not our fault.
It's Terry. Now I get to be told. Come on, he just plays with his lands in front. You don't know any people who do that? And I feel like there's always a couple people every store.
That guy.
I don't think being that guy is a problem at all. Yeah, Island Delver, Tezzeret decks have been the reason I've wanted to play a lot of Legacy. I just don't have the cards. We'll get there. I'm gonna make it happen sometime.
A very old tomb up against a really new Delver.
Your reaction towards that Delver, it just makes my day.
It looks really bad on camera. It doesn't look as bad in person.
No, it doesn't.
If you like move it so that it's just perfectly in the right light, and then you get blinded by the shot foil, then it looks better.
You've never met anybody who has played with lands in front? That is crazy. Oh, 5 other decks first. Obviously, you love Tezzeret. Jeez. All right. We got a ponder and a fetching response.
He fetches in response, and then he allows the ponder to resolve.
Yeah, he's just.
Okay.
I'll do this while you ponder.
Yeah,
that's what he's saying. See, Ingenuity plays his lands in the front. Like a freak. Whoa. The hostility, come on.
You thought that the lands in front was the correct way?
So be it. Ingenuity's like, fine.
You were wrong. The lands don't go where Terry puts them. My most expensive card. I'm going to play an Underground Sea.
This goes way out here.
I am winning. I have $350 on the board. What do you have? Oh, a forest. Rumors of an old rule book that says play lands in front.
Interesting.
I haven't actually read through the initial playbooks. I don't know. Or somebody just made one.
Competitive REL feature match area makes you play with your lands behind.
Yeah.
It was an official rule back in the day.
Huh. Maybe it meant in front, like in front of you, and then the creatures above that.
Yeah, so was Mana Burn. Yeah, only when you're on. Only when you're on camera. Yeah, I'm aware. All right, we've got a Chalice on 1. This is gonna get Force of Willed. He's trying to decide which blue card.
Yeah, the original rules didn't have a limit of 4 of 1 card in a deck either. Like,
really?
no, that's where the 20 Lotuses, 20 Lightning Bolt decks came from.
All the way back in 2010. Yep, 8 years with no mana burn. It's been a little while.
Unless you play 93, 94, then you still play with mana burn.
Yep. Interesting. All right, Delver was pitched, and then Delver flips. Got a Deathrite Shaman here.
Are we gonna see something from Tez here? Are we gonna some combination of cards that get played to do something?
Nope, just the Belfastrix. I would expect him to try to play another Chalice on 1.
Oh,
Forcing Belfastrix.
wow! This allows. So there is an Urborg out. That's why that fetch line can tap for mana.
Okay.
Chalice. This gives him game against as long as he can figure out an answer to these 2 cards that are out. Yeah, I guess forcing the Strix is correct. It's kind of it allows your flipped Delver to play like that's what Delver decks want to do, right? They want to keep their Delver alive, and it's a removal spell pretty much.
Yep, he's just gonna pay 4 for this, using those Ancient Tombs to tap for black. He's got his Tezzeret. Great StarCraft, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it.
Well done. Way to follow us. We're going someplace, and they're following.
Fantastic.
Right behind us.
Somebody's got to.
Along with the other 400 people in line.
All right, so here's 5 cards that he gets to look at from Tezzeret's plus ability. In fact, let me pull up Tezzeret. Why not?
This is Tezzeret number 2, 2.0 Tezzeret.
Tezzeret, Agent of Bolas.
Yeah. There it is.
What one
Little text.
What one did he reveal? I didn't get to see. pulling some things up. I knew there was a Mox Diamond in there. Didn't see what other one.
This is where he gets to look at the top 4 cards of his library, pick an artifact, put it in their hand. The rest go on the bottom.
My top 5.
And then the minus ability, target artifact becomes a 5/5 artifact creature. It's kind of weird because the new templating often says until end of turn, and Tezzeret keeps it there. It's just a 5/5 permanently.
Some good 1985. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Yeah. Demir Signet. Thank you, chat.
How did Tezzeret just got attacked? Is that what happened?
Yeah. Just got attacked.
So it did kind of a weird time walk plus draw a card impression there. Yeah. Definitely would have been stronger if you had a way to protect it.
Yeah, it's the From the Vault Delver. It's a flipped one, so it's an insectile aberration.
It's bad foiling, is what it is. It's weird because I was pretty excited about having that card reprinted with new art in foil, even though it's from the vault. But the art is so eerily similar that it loses. Why do new art with very similar art?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, ask me. Ask me what I think about it. Yep, still same foiling. It's not as bad in person, but on camera it looks really bad.
The foil is a little better on these double-sided ones because they don't bend as much. Like the other ones are like warped super
on
easy.
both sides.
Since it's foiled on both sides, they like even out, and the cards
apart.
actually stay flat.
Like,
just saying.
The foiling just kind of goes like this away from each other.
Haven't had that happen
That was hard
yet.
to do.
Yeah.
On camera, it was harder than I thought. Non-foil, non-sign cards only. Okay. Like a twist. It'll just curl in on itself. The cards are gonna implode. Just rips itself in half. Exactly. Except slowly, very slowly. Like it takes a week.
All right. Continuing to draw some cards. Excellent. So there is an ensnaring bridge.
And they can go right back into the vault.
Discarding land and Mox Diamond, it looks like. Here's the Demir Signet. Here's the ensnaring bridge. Plays out his whole hand, and now it's pretty much the Deathrite Shaman game again.
He's down to 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's a low life total.
Sure is.
That's you're very almost dead life total, actually.
He needs to find removal, or he needs to find a way to gain life very quickly. He draws a card, and he goes straight to Dak Baden.
Off the top is Inventor's Fair. That's not gonna do it. Nope. If he had another turn, it would have given him more turns. And you can go find something right here. You gotta sacrifice it, but what do you get? You get engineered explosives. Does that work? He's gotta tap too much to do it, doesn't he? Yeah, like it would have worked. He's already got bridge.
Yeah,
the problem
bridge
here is the Delver.
Yeah,
or the Deathrite.
Deathrite Shaman. Deathrite Shaman has the necessary reach.
If Inventor's Fair's activation was just a little less expensive, explosives would work. As it is, if he had a Pithing Needle, that would work. If he's got one main deck.
Alright, Terry's gonna take this one.
Yep.
Well, he's not on 4-color. What am I thinking? He's on Delver. Have we been calling his deck 4-color this whole time? He's really just on Grixis Delver?
Okay. Probably.
I just barely noticed that. I don't know. Don't know why we called it 4-color control.
Let's take a peek at our undefeated match here.
Yeah.
Here's Corey, who had the buy round 1. He was in here with us.
Yeah, he was.
He's been
tearing it up since.
4-coloring controlling. And I don't think it runs Punish and Fire.
No, it does not.
That one. And he's up against this Death Shadow list, which just beat Mono Black Control last round. or mono black. I guess it's a control.
Yeah.
It's mono black with Obliterator. That doesn't feel very controlly, but it is. We've got some Goifing and Shardlessing and Balefuling on one side, and Leovold versus Deathrite that just died.
You know, having Tarmogoyf and Death Shadow, this is a lot of pressure for any legacy deck. You know, this Tarmogoyf's just huge. He has to deal with Baleful Strix, all the hand hate. It wouldn't surprise me if Corey is going to have a hard time here. Mono Black Terminator. There you go. Yeah, Legacy Death Shadow. It's something that people have been toying with since Death Shadow became a thing in Modern. They wanted to know if it transferred over to Legacy, because honestly, when you play or seeing Death Shadow in Modern, it does play similarly to a lot of Legacy decks, and so I think a lot of people wanted to toy with that. Looks like John's no different. He wants to see if this deck is good. He's 3-0. Feeling all right.
You definitely have to play it a little differently. You know, people are comfortable with like a burn matchup in Modern, right? Yeah. The burn matchup in Legacy. The math changes a little bit, but that's true for any deck. I'd imagine it's pretty budget. It's more budget.
I've seen budget versions that just run shocks. I've also seen decks that also have duels. It's better to have like a duel or two just in case you don't want to take damage for your land.
Corey goes to 1.
He's got a lot to deal with here. Death Shadow's going to come down. This is going to be a 5/5 since John is at 8 life. I don't know what he's looking for, but I don't think he's going to find it.
Yeah, Corey had a Force of Will in hand, but he can't use it there when there's a fetch land with 1 life. Kind of turns it off. And I don't think he found anything. You need multiple answers and you just drew 1 card. It doesn't work. He's gonna think about it though. He drew a blue card, right? What could he have drawn that?
He's probably thinking of what he could draw if there's any out in his deck. I mean, if he's gonna end up drawing a card, yeah, we actually talked about the boogie boards earlier. They do seem nice. And I'll probably get me one here pretty soon.
With a battery.
With a battery.
Replaceable battery.
With a replaceable battery.
Until you look at the price. And
see, like, oh. you just get me.
And it's really nice because if you ever go to the beach, you can use it out there in the water.
How versatile.
Yeah.
Jeez, you really get your money's worth.
I don't know the answer to that. There's new wording for how you have to keep track of life, right? You can't use dice. You have to.
I've been to GPs where people use them, so I think so.
I think they are. They just changed the wording on that. It was kind of hidden in the recent update. Yeah, in the ocean.
Yep.
That's what I think it'd be fun. Okay, here's multiple things. How did he manage to do that? I missed it. I missed whatever he did. How did he get both Snapcaster and Belful out with that hand?
He
brainstormed?
He had a Snapcaster. He flashback Brainstorm and found a Belful Strix.
Okay. I block the things. Strix has to block Strix, unfortunately, because they fly. He doesn't get to kill one of the bigger things. And anything else? Death Shadow number 2. There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to show you game 2 of Tezzerator.
They were just getting started. What timing? What timing?
When Death Shadow just keep dropping threats and the opponent doesn't have an answer.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, a turn 1 Delver.
Where have we seen that before?
Yeah. Terry has been on it today. We're missing all of the shuffle cams. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're right. It's just not like us. So, since Matt has started doing the Friday commentary, every time we have the shuffle cams, he's like, Twitch's finest shuffle cams right here. He's like proud of it.
Yeah, if you see the clip of that shuffle clown thing, though, that they did for GP Santa Clara, shuffling has just not been the same since.
I'm glad I didn't see it.
You shouldn't even go look for it.
I'm not going to.
Don't do it.
I'm not even curious.
Rich got a little weird.
Does the store have a YouTube channel? It absolutely does. We record everything we do. I do Legacy Moto streams 5 days a week, and then we do this twice a week. So you just go to Paragon, just search Paragon City Games.
In fact, this is live on YouTube right now.
It is.
It's nightmare fodder, right? In fact, I haven't slept since.
Wow. That's kind of brutal. Paragon City. Oh, Paragon City Media. Yeah, Paragon City Games, Paragon City Media. Is it under Media on YouTube?
You went 2 and 2 with what? With Mono Black?
With Parfait?
Wastelands.
We got some Wastelands going on
What a
here.
jerk move. This is an unflipped Delver versus Wastelands. 7 more subs for 1,000. What?
Oh, on YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah, we're doing pretty well. We even have like 50-ish subs.
51 subs on Twitch.
51 subs on Twitch.
That's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, we're doing okay. You did Blue Black Reanimator. You would have 4-0'd if you were on Parfait. Yeah, almost to 1,000 on YouTube. That is pretty good. I haven't actually checked our numbers on YouTube in probably too long. I'm like so focused on Twitch usually. Trying to become a partner there, so.
Flooded Strand, stranding the floods. And a
Spell Pierce on the Demir Signet.
So Terry's on a I'm going to deny you mana plan here.
Yep.
He's kind of all in on that. I'm not sure if I really like that Spell Pierce there, but okay.
Yeah, a lot of people are trying out the post in Mud and Stacks. I tried out the Eldrazi post. I actually liked it quite a lot more than I thought I was going to. Alright, so we're going to pitch Thopter Foundry to Force a Will here.
It's kind of cute that it's a blue card. Pitches to Force a Will.
Land number 3. And now he's a red mana off of this Ingenious Iconoclast and any color mana off of Tezzeret.
Finally, the Delver flips over.
Yep, and this is gonna hurt. Yeah, see, I don't love the regular Eldrazi lists. I don't like the Matter Reshapers and the Reality Smashers.
You like bringing the end?
I like bringing the end. Yep, so we see Duretti and Tezzeret revealed to Gitaxian Probe. He's going to give Duretti the Ingenious Iconoclast a good old read. It can make a 1/1 Artifact Defender.
Buying Grim Monolith feels a little bit better in that it's reserved.
Yeah.
What's he going to do with this Tezzeret? Is he going to make a 5/5 or is he going to start searching?
If he feels like he can race... Oh no, this is going to get forced. Okay. Force, pitch, force. And the And we continue.
Plus, then your Grim Flayers have a place to live if you get the monoliths, which is nice. Buying City of Traders is gross?
Not nearly as gross as buying duels. Down to 8. Yep, this isn't going to do much. Now, one thing he can do... Oh, he's just 1 mana off from being able to cast Trinium Nemesis. Wasteland Urborg.
I think Delver's gonna get there.
I actually think he should have sacked both of his artifacts and double blocked this Delver. Maybe that's wrong, but he is going to be able to find.
David's got at least 1 loss, so I think he's 2-1. Is that clear?
Probably.
There we go. Delver died. The Iconoclast gets to, you get to sacrifice an artifact to destroy an artifact or a creature. It's his -1 there.
Yep, land was drawn, and now it's a 2-turn clock for this Trinium Nemesis. If Sword of the Meek gets ripped off the top here very quickly, then I could see him coming back. But otherwise, this looks like Terry's victory here. What is this? A Chalice? Well, I guess you're going to put Chalice on 1.
Dude Guy Ben, what you do is you get foil lanterns, and then you have me alter them to be masterpieces.
There you go.
It turned out pretty cool, actually. I'm sending off a masterpiece card off to England
Really?
soon.
That's awesome.
It's going to cost about as much in shipping as it does for me to do the altar.
Wow. All right, here's a Baleful Strix. The draw will decide for him what happens here. Now he cannot sacrifice the token to draw a card, but he can sacrifice itself this Baleful Strix here. Yeah, Demir Signet. That's just not going to do it. Here's my Demir Signet. Your turn. All right.
Yeah, having Underground Seas stolen would not feel good.
Yeah, did not get to see Tezzeret do its thing at all. Kind of sad. Let's get back to this. This actually looks like Game 3 is starting up, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you think?
I think this is Game 3.
I think it's 1-1.
Yep.
I think Corey just took that one real quick while we were watching there.
Musta could.
I don't know.
Could have maybe.
Well, we'll see.
Probably sort of. Yeah. Yep.
Kind of sad. I really would have liked to see it get going. Because that's when it's fun, right? I guess that's how every strategy is, though. Once it gets going, then it's fun.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's a Leopold. He's playing elves.
That he has to be.
He's playing Legacy Elf.
Oh, Legacy Elf.
It's a 4-color deck. It has 1 elf. A couple other cards. They're unrelated.
Next, StarCraft. Yeah, that's rough.
Selling power probably feels pretty good, though, right? Like, depending on when you bought the power.
It's hard to sell power.
If you do sell the power, then no, like the amount that you would make off from buying it.
Yeah.
You report that on your taxes.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Magic was actually regulated enough that you had to? Which member?
This one.
This one.
This Leovold member.
He lost his arms and his legs.
He did.
And he died. It was sad. No other elves were around to commiserate.
All he wanted was a handshake.
Yep. to get to. He lost his arm.
Yep.
He said, "Nope. Take those members right off."
Which one?
The one he was handshaking with. Silly.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say this one.
No.
Sorry. Yeah, you're right. That doesn't.
Hey, it's brainstorm. Just gonna put down some ideas right here.
I mean, when Leovold comes down and they go immediately kill it, you can only assume they want to draw cards.
I can assume other things.
Like what?
I don't know.
Like what could you assume?
You have a problem with elves. You're elfist. Can you be elfist?
Elfist?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure you can.
Actually, don't you think you're just racist if you have a problem with a specific race?
Mm-hmm. I think so. Add it to the list of prejudice.
There's a show on Netflix, a Will Smith sci-fi movie called Bright. Just recently came out. And it kind of has like a Independence Day kind of thing going for it, except it's better. But it's about racism because there's orcs and elves and people. Yeah.
Yeah, Dude Guy Ben. This is Draper, Utah.
Yep. Here we are. Hi.
Draper, Utah.
Does that mean you also are in Utah?
Maybe.
What's happening in this game? Taking a long time to make this play.
Yeah, it was just a long brainstorm. I had to think about it.
Had to jot down all his ideas.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you do when you brainstorm. Oh, brainstorm on the other side. This one's a F&M promo brainstorm, which is pretty much the same as the McKinney Mass ones.
It's not like Delver where one of them's faster than the other.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Nope. It's got a neat little F&M stamp on it.
That's neat.
I'm glad that went away.
Big Red Joe, you lived in Orem? That's not even that far away. People come to our store from Orem all the time.
You know of multiple stores in the Salt Lake City area? There are a lot of stores here. We have quite a few of them.
Yeah, we do.
Paragon's been open for a year and a few months.
A little over a year. Mm-hmm.
So depending, Big Red Joe, when you were here, it may not have been here. Dude Guy Ben. Hey, so I play here at Paragon, and obviously I do this Tuesday night casting of when we do Legacy, but I enjoy playing here more than other stores.
I'm the same way.
Quite significantly.
I actually lived in Farmington, which is about a 40-minute drive, and like once I found out about this place, like I haven't gone anywhere else. It's fantastic. Big Red Joe, 6 years ago. That's a little while ago.
So, Dude Guy, we play Tuesdays. Every Tuesday they play Legacy. We get, 20-ish people now every single week. And as you can see, there's some pretty competitive players, some pretty competitive decks. They also play Legacy on Fridays, but the room is packed because there's Fridays Modern and Standard and Commander and Draft sometimes.
Yeah, we'll get like 80 people.
A little bit different experience, but there's usually about 15, 20 people playing Legacy as well.
Yep.
You had to Google how close Utah is?
Not even close.
I think it's kind of surprising when people don't know where Utah is. Like, it makes sense, but we had Winter Olympics here. I thought most people would know, but that was 10 years ago now. No,
more than that.
14 years ago,
16 years ago.
2002. Yeah. I guess some people wouldn't know.
I guess from Ontario. Yeah, for sure. It's not close, but we've had people for our Legacy 1K. We had people fly in. Mm-hmm. They wanted to come and check out the store and play some Legacy here. So I know Brian wants to start doing 1K events more often, a couple times a year. Utah is very, very pretty. It's gorgeous here.
Who's the guy on the left? His name's John. Or
Or are you talking? Are you
us.
talking about the commentators, or are you talking about the players?
There's a Goif. It's a Tarmogoyf.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've never gotten to go to an East Coast Eternal Weekend event. I bet it's a blast. Yeah, Tarmogoyf is going to be tough to answer. Commentators. I'm not sure. I guess you're on the left. So
It's very confusing.
I don't know. This is Bryce. I'm Kyer.
Yeah.
Welcome to Paragon City Games Tuesday Night Legacy stream.
I've been around the Utah Magic scene for quite some time, but I don't go to a lot of various stores, so there's a lot of players I don't know.
11 rounds was brutal. Yeah, I believe it.
I used to know people better when pre-releases were one event. Small stores didn't used to hold them. So like here in Salt Lake, it was at some hotels and in like their conference centers, and then eventually it was at the State Fair Park. So we had like 200 people, which was a lot, at the State Fair Park in one big event. It was silly. It was 1 billion rounds. But that's how Magic used to be.
Yeah.
I kind of like re-releases better now when they're just local.
Yeah. I think my first couple pre-releases were like that, and then they switched. I only got to do that once or twice. They were both at the fairgrounds.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Eventide was the one I remember the most.
Yeah, that may have been one of the last ones.
All right, Charlotte's Agent. We're going to find Death Shadow off of that. That is a large Death Shadow. That is a 10/10 Death Shadow. Cool.
I wonder how big Death is. Because Shadow's a 10/10. Got a judge call on me because I was 1-8 with a beta. Huh.
Weird.
I'm confused.
That's how I feel about every event. I'm always excited to get out of the event. Go to a bar. Your record was 1-8? Oh, okay. That's what he meant. You had a beta Underground C in there, and they called the judge because they.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
The opponent thought you had proxies. Oh, that is stupid. 7-4. That's a great record, Island Delver.
You're both 1-8, and your opponent says, "Judge, what are you doing at that point? Right? You're not playing for anything.
Who cares?
You're just playing for fun. Why does it matter if he's got a proxy or not?"
Right. Even if it was a proxy, like, oh well. Just out of cash.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I agree, Captain QC. I think it's an issue.
It's also like in the NBA, if there was some sort of flopping penalty. If you flopped and you got some sort of, I don't know what it would be. But who plays with betas? If I had beta cards, I'd probably play with them.
People that want to play with betas?
Yeah. I guess it depends on how nice a shape they were in.
Yeah, if they're pristine, you probably don't want to play with them, but otherwise. Wow. Okay, so he goes for a Kulligan's Command. This is going to get Stubborn Denialed.
You play with beta bolts.
See? Travis will play with some betas. Travis, I have yet to see you play Magic. Just saying.
Yeah, but the beta duels I've seen him play with have like Sharpie all over them.
Oh, really? Then that makes sense. Like
beta basics, yeah, I have some of those.
Is it Master? Where's my Eldrazi post? I don't know if there's any Eldrazi. You're awesome, Volk. I want to see that now. I haven't seen that yet, Travis. I haven't got to see any of your cool stuff, really. Besides the Chains of Mephistopheles that you let me borrow that one time.
I bet you I could remove the Sharpie and infinitely make that card worth more money. Signed Beta Islands look sweet. Yeah, they do. Mark Poole's got a good signature.
Isn't that the ones that Josh has?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Dude signed anything? Nah. Depends on the signature. Some signatures I'm not a big fan.
Is it Master? I have a 720 card cube that I try to get as many of them signed as I possibly can. There are some gorgeous signatures.
Tapping 4 mana. It could be a Jace. Is it a Jace? Do you think it's a Jace? I think it's a Jace. Everybody, it's a Jace. Surprise!
Surprise!
You're incredibly tired of seeing Rob Alexander, but he signs some things Alex, some things Alexander, some things just You get all sorts of fun signatures from him. You never know what they're going to be. Ooh, Travis is going to bring a storm back.
That'd be awesome.
You can only speak.
I would love to see that.
You have to be able to read German to understand anything. Bring some sunglasses.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not very good at reading German.
You?
I just know Cashwelger and Teufelschrecken. So I know how to say Bedlam Reveler, and I know how to say Devil Horror.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
Mm-hmm. That's all I got. Take it or leave it.
You're halfway to Infernal Tutor. Hey, Jace, you're gonna die.
Yep, looks like Jace is gonna get eaten by the Tarmogoyf. It's probably gonna grow the Tarmogoyf.
Oh, weird. Somebody sent Rob some cards to have signed, and he didn't send them back, huh?
He's like, hey, these are valuable. I'm gonna keep them. Man, Corey's in a tough spot. Although, all he really needs is a lightning bolt. I guess it would have to be like right here, though.
Oh, wow. Yep, Johnny didn't sign things.
Yeah, he does. He doesn't come to a lot of U.S. GPs though. Usually like once or twice a year.
So there's somebody on Facebook who kind of acts as an intermediary for signatures for a lot of different people. I think Avon does his own thing, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So if you want signatures, join the.
Yeah, I really need to go to the EU events. I need to get all my unhinged foil lands and my unstable foil lands signed. His signature is gorgeous too.
Yeah, Mark is who I'm thinking
of. Mark. Yeah, I have him liked on Facebook. You get a lot of cool stuff done.
And that's a really good process to get stuff signed. And he's reputable, right? It'll happen. It might take a while. I'm thinking of Antoine.
Jack's a local of ours? Oh, cool. Did not know. Alright, this is probably lethal.
It feels very Goyth shadowy. What? You lost a $100 package? That's not fair. There's a handshake. Death Shadow.
Death Shadow 4 O's. Look at that.
I'm surprised. Sometimes when you have the cards, it works.
Yeah, I had Raul. I had Brian take a couple of cards for me to get signed by Avon. Now I guess the line was so bad that he only got through it like once and got like 4 to 5 cards signed. All of them are gorgeous. Like I think I got my Urborg signed. A couple other silly cards, but man, need to see him again.
So that's end of round 4 for us here on this Tuesday.
It is.
I guess we haven't mentioned Paragon has a TCG page. If you guys haven't checked it out, there's just a regular TCG storefront. There's currently a bunch of Legends cards in really good shape. There's also a really nice Future Sight Goyf if you want your own Goyf at a pretty decent price. I think it's like $88, or no, less than that.
I don't even know. It was a good price,
There's some good prices on there. Or if you need a foil Yavimaya Hollow for your commander deck, and you don't mind dropping a few bills for that, there's one of those on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Paragon City Games. We're located in Utah. You can check us out on TCG, YouTube. We have Facebook, Twitch, all sorts of places. We also have our own website, ParagonCityGames.com. That's something that's kind of new and is currently being worked on. But yeah,
and we'll be back here next Tuesday. Both of us will.
Yes.
Kyra will be back here Friday night for some Legacy.
I'll be back here tomorrow and the next day.
Yeah, and then you'll be streaming some Magic Online, variety of different decks.
I'll do Magic Online tomorrow, the next day, and the next day.
Perfect.
And then Friday night, of course, Matt and I will be here to do 3 rounds of Paper Legacy commentary. So yeah, we'll be around.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
All right, Hail Heroes.
See you next week.